Everyone, and welcome to our live match preview show on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzy, and I'm your host for this evening. Now, as normal, we start off the show with the traditional structure, which is the match preview of our upcoming game. But there's been some rumors circling the last couple of hours that I feel like we have to discuss. So I'm glad to present that we have a special guest, a good friend of the show, and that is Double D, who will help us come to terms with this random bombshell that's come across today. So, firstly, big up Double D. How you doing today?
What's going on, bro? I've just literally got back in, but wanted
Yeah,
to vent due to obviously we're going to do we were going to do a preview anyway, but
yeah,
the news these things have if they actually happened, and I, I might not watch another Premier League game this season, which I'm on the verge of doing anyway, because
yeah.
apart from a couple of good performances in the Champions League, this has just been depressing, bro.
It has. Tell
Depressing,
me about it.
you
But if
know.
people aren't aware, we're gonna present the man of the topic, and that is Curtis Jones. So Fabrizio Romano pretty much dropped a bomber I was ago, suggesting that that Inter Milan are in direct talks with Liverpool for Curtis Jones on loan with an obligation to buy. Now, there's also another rumor that aligns with this, and that's regarding an Inter player called David Fratesi, who looks like he could be joining Nottingham Forest, which would mean that they have a vacant space in the midfield and they require a replacement. And that's why Curtis Jones has been identified as that man. And also, the Sky Italian journalist Gianluca Di Marzio has reported that take of this what you will, but apparently Jones has already said yes to a move to
Oh,
San Siro, and talks
goodness.
continue to find an agreement over a loan until the end of the season with a buy option worth 40 million euro, which equals to about 35 million pounds. So I want to get your thoughts on it first, Double D, and then I'll express my views or might go on a rant, who knows. But Double D, what have you made of this news? Has it come as a bit of a surprise? Because there has been rumbles about Curtis Jones
I
being linked
thought
to a
it out.
move to Tottenham, and Fabrizio actually confirmed that they've been aggressive in their pursuit. So have Liverpool given that sort of notion to teams that he is available? What's your take on Jones possibly leaving Liverpool in the near future?
They say usually there's no smoke
Yeah,
without fire. I'm hoping this is the case where that isn't the case, but it seems like the little spat they had a couple of weeks ago on the touchline when
this one.
Curtis was yeah, that one there.
Mhm.
Like it seems like that was bigger than that. She probably continued into the changing room after the game.
Yeah,
And yeah, I don't like this at all. For me, it wouldn't make any form of sense. The squad, though we spent heavily, is lightweight considering the amount of money that was spent. It doesn't. The balance of the squad does not suggest one of a team that has smartly spent all of that money.
yeah,
So you've got some injuries as well. So to let Jones go, who remember is someone that could fill in at right back as well, and he may be needed with the fact of the Frimpong injury. Looks like he'll be out for um, a few weeks at this year minimum, and then obviously Bradley's out for the rest of the season. And this guy doesn't want to use Calvin Ramsey for whatever reason. But like, if you test him, it doesn't work. Okay, but you're not
yeah.
testing him at all. Shows you
At
don't
least
rate
give
him.
a
So
try.
then what's the point? At least you tried.
Yeah.
So then what's the point in having him at the club? It makes no sense. So yeah, so that is disappointing. But also as well, why it wouldn't make sense was that would be another homegrown player go who, when he has played, has kept the ball so well and when needed recycle possession. But obviously the things with Jones as well is that he passes forward a lot. So therefore, this move would make no form of sense to me. But we've been so silly this season in what we've done in certain scenarios. Even now, they're not going to go and try and get a centre back in. Like, even if it was the case where they went in and looked for someone who was a free transfer or whatever, you would sit there and say, okay, at least they've got another body in there for the squad. Even if it's the case where a substitute, if need be, to come on, but you're not going to sit there and do anything. Like, come on, like,
Yeah.
what are you going to end up doing? We get punished enough as it is at the back. So then you're going to put Endo there, who is shorter than um, some then like
defenders.
obviously he's shorter than a Gravenberch, for instance, even though Gravenberch is a midfielder. You get beaten at set pieces and whatnot already, so you're gonna throw people in that even shorter for them to make a mockery of us and go directly over us. Like in terms of they won't even have to keep the ball. It's just like, oh look, ping it direct every time, but we'll get caught out because we've just defended poorly this season. So losing a homegrown body as well, if it was to be stupidity all over, like we've won the
Yeah,
league and it's like as though we've just looked at this season as a free hit. It comes out and they're just doing really stupid things, bro. But
yeah,
yeah, I've got no words for it, bro.
bro, you're spot
It's
on.
better
It's a weird one. It's a weird one because like it shouldn't be a free hit type of season. You know, we did well last season. Some may say we overachieved, but I think overachieved in the sense that Arne Slot came in to replace Jurgen Klopp, which was of course big boots to fill. But in terms of the way we played, I think it was fully deserved that we won the league. So I wouldn't quite go for us what some people would say that we overachieved. But this season, spending all that money in the summer, like you're thinking there's a plan here, there's a vision here,
yeah,
but I'm not seeing it. And it's a weird situation because a lot of fans made a big deal about Mohamed Salah having that rant against Leeds
yeah,
United, right? Curtis Jones was very vocal, I think, against I think against PSV,
yeah,
when we lost 5-1, and he pretty much said it. It wasn't on British TV, it was the American channels where he said that, oh, we were shit. He literally said we were shit
yeah, yeah,
on
yeah,
on
yeah,
live TV. So
yeah.
he was like, he wasn't holding back. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't think Slot likes those type of characters, which is still why I feel like there's no certainty that Salah will be here next season, and some people
But
might think,
in terms of
yeah, sorry,
Jones, oh, sorry to
it's all
cut
right.
in. In terms of Jones, right? In stark contrast to what he was saying about being that at the start of Slot's reign, that the
Yeah,
happiest he may be at the club because in terms of like the
yeah,
instructions,
you're right.
he said to understand them was Klopp had done. Well, look at this now. You'd kill to have Jurgen Klopp back right about now,
It's
mate.
true.
I mean, like, come on, man.
It's true. I actually remember that interview because he was like very positive. He said, "Look, it's not like how we played against Jurgen, but it's more technical, it's more
Yeah,
possession based."
yeah.
So he was enjoying that. So he must have just come in and revealed his true colors this season because no one seems to like him right now. If I'm being honest with you, and this picture that I've got on the screen,
Yeah.
some people will be like, "Oh, we might be clutching here." Like it can't be because of a little spat. But the thing is, this was against Burnley, and since that game, he hasn't started. We've played 3 games after that.
There you go.
Do you get what I'm saying? So it can't just be a coincidence that after the spat, someone's been dismissed from the lineup because I think he's been one of our
Best
strongest
players this
midfielders
season. Yeah, 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 yeah. Bro,
by far.
when he plays,
Yeah,
we have more control of football matches,
100%. More energy, more tenacity in that midfield.
and he can
'Cause
beat
the
people as
thing,
well.
yeah,
That's something
and
our
that's the thing.
midfield lacks. You get me?
Yeah,
Someone that
because
can
that's
pick
what we
people up
expect
and
from
go past.
McAllister, but McAllister hasn't delivered this
Yeah,
season. But Jones, I feel like it might be a bit of an overreaction, but I feel like he's been a lifesaver to an extent because we would heavily rely on McAllister's technical ability, but because he's been so below par, Jones has actually come in and taken a lot of his game time, and rightly so because
yeah,
he's given us that dynamic play that we need in that midfield. So he's pretty much warranted a start or many starts this season, and it's fully deserved. So it's for me, it's bizarre that we're even having this discussion because there's a number of reasons why we shouldn't sell Curtis Jones. And I know some will disagree because I don't think all of our sort of fans within the Liverpool fan base rate Jones for whatever reason. Everyone's entitled to opinion, but I've always felt like he's a player that you can rely upon. He's a player that is versatile, as you mentioned, Double D. He plays in the double pivot, but he can easily play as a number 8,
yep,
as a number 10,
yep,
as a left winger because he's done it in his youth days,
yep.
and we've used him as an emergency right back as well. So because of that, you've got a versatile squad player who's not really gonna throw a tantrum if he doesn't start. But
Yeah.
when he plays, he's gonna give his all and fight for the badge. That's what you want in your team. You want these squad players because you can't buy a player that embodies the club the way Curtis Jones does.
Yeah.
He's that one of us. Like it's like a fan playing on the pitch. So the way I'm looking at this is a business move because selling homegrown players means that the club can
Nonsense.
re- they receive maximum profit, right? And it helps in terms of the criteria for the PSR. So
Yeah, for the balance
because
sheet,
you
and
make
because of a grown
yeah,
player. So yeah,
exactly. And because you do that, you're actually allowed to spend more because it's maximum profit in the summer. So maybe
yeah,
they're thinking, we got to spend big again, so we have to do these type of deals. But for me, all business is not good business. So
very
for me,
true.
that shouldn't be happening. And on paper, he might not be the first name on every sort of team sheet, but I will still regard him as a important player. And you know my thoughts on in terms of McAllister. I would sell McAllister ahead of Curtis Jones, and that might be like an eccentric comment, but I'm going based off current form, and I'm not saying that McAllister's finished, but
Yeah,
I do feel like he might be a player that's peaked, and I don't feel like he's going to rediscover that same kind of form that he showed in the last few years. That's just my take. So I would be very peed off if we were to sell Curtis Jones. And you know, let me pen you a question because I've
cool.
heard there's been some recent reports, and I'm not saying there's any truth to it, but we've been heavily linked with Adam Wharton. So if Liverpool was selling Jones and in return we're going to sign Wharton in this current window, which I don't think is a reality, but let's just say for this scenario,
Yeah.
would you be happy with that scenario?
Um. Well, I wouldn't be unhappy, but like I'd like to see a Liverpool midfield with both of those men in it.
Yes.
So
Yes, I
yeah,
agree.
so it sounds mad, even though like from literally as soon as Wharton landed in Prem, I've been singing his praises, but I wouldn't be fully pleased by that. I don't so sense, but as you pointed out, it could be telling the fact that since this game Jones hasn't started because he was doing so well when he was in the starting lineup. Like for instance, the way he like turned people when needed and kept the ball together. We don't beat Inter, for instance, without Curtis Jones on the football pitch. Um, so yeah, this is awkward, and I'm not liking it because
Mm,
you don't want to believe it. Certain things are piecing together. A team that
yeah,
needs to buy at least one player, it looks more like people are going to be leaving. Like it's
yeah,
just absolutely ridiculous. Like this club are just not like. Obviously, we love the fact we're on the league, but this season we are not being spared. Like what did we sell our souls for this title or something? Every week it's just something like
yeah.
oh
Do you know what's fun? Not funny, but you know what's weird as well? Like, of course, there's a big distance between us and the leaders right now.
mm,
But we threw in that towel for the tower race like a long time ago. Like,
yeah
I feel like we threw that in like November,
yeah
and that's that is such a weak point as a current champion. You can't throw in the towel in November and give up and not even suggest that we're in the title race. Like for me, that's like absurd in terms of how we are, performing as a collective. So it's very, very hard to understand the situation. I was annoyed with the rumors about Robertson leaving last week because I
this is
don't
what I'm
think
saying.
that that's
Tottenham thing
warranted. Yeah, I don't think
makes
that's warranted because we need that
makes no
his
sense.
experience until the season finishes, and I feel like he's a legend, so I feel like he needs to be given that send off
Yeah.
where you conclude the season and then he has that walk of that lap of honor they do on the last day,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
feel like
but
that's what he
also,
deserves.
but bro, also as well, it's not like he's like basically stated he doesn't want to leave.
Mm,
He
yeah,
loves the club. Even
yeah,
after that European game, he put home
yes,
on the picture. That was the title of the picture, so he doesn't want to go anywhere. But
no,
it's the minutes because he's sitting on the bench and watching some. Don't get it twisted. Kirk has had some good saves this season. He was good in the second
yeah,
half against Everton, good in the second half against Arsenal, bar being taken on by Madueke. But even in
yeah,
the games that he does play good, Kirk is, it takes a bit of time to get going. And
he
against
does.
better opposition, they could kill you before he's settled into the game. So
Yeah,
Robbo is probably looking at that and thinking that, yeah, my levels have dropped from my prime under Klopp, but I'm only 31 years old And I'm watching this brother stink up the place. Like you had to hook him at
Yeah.
half time a couple of times. Against Burnley, he got hooked before half time because remember he got booked
Yeah.
in the away game. He got booked and then he was still flying into challenges like he's a flipping bumper car, bro, human bumper car. So
Yeah.
um, s- so I started to take him off, and he's been dragged a couple of times at half time. So Robert will be sitting there thinking that if I can't get more minutes than this, and even when Robbo started, not the last time he's happened, the time before, he got taken off after an hour
Yeah.
for Kirk. I
No,
said,
it's
like, I
facts.
don't get it. I don't get it. So,
Mm.
yeah, he's probably sitting there thinking he wants to be as sharp as possible for the World Cup. Because I like who this is that his last one, because no guarantee, though
Yeah.
he'll still be playing professionally in 4 years, that they'd
Yeah.
be able to qualify again. So he wants to be sharp, and you may feel he's not getting enough minutes for it. But then you do look at Tottenham as well, and you think that Van der Ven can cover left back, but they've got Udogie
Mm.
and they've got Jed Spence
Expense.
can
Yeah.
play this. So I'm thinking, is it a guarantee for minutes there? But obviously, if he
Yeah.
would be willing, that there would have been something in the talks that would have told him that he would be used. So
Yeah.
yeah, but if he's going to leave, I don't want to go abroad. I do not want this man in the Premier League getting back
Yeah.
to Robbo up and down and pinging in crosses and adding to that assist tally because with Trent not
Yeah.
here, he can go back to number one again in terms of
Yeah.
defender with the most amount of assists in Premier League history. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's a yeah. I'll do.
I'll take it a step further. I would personally give him another contract. I'll give him a 1 year extension because
Yeah, no, no.
I feel like Kirk is, he's showing the potential. Like you said, like he's had good games, but he's also had bad games. So when you've got a player that's young and still raw, in my opinion, to be an accomplished starter in this team, what best to have a person like Robertson in the squad who can
Thank
literally be a
you.
mentor for this guy. Like, if we sell him, we're not gonna sign another 31-year-old left back, are we? We're gonna go for a young up and coming left back who's gonna be similar profile, similar age. So then you've got two inexperienced, not inexperienced, but you've got two players that are on the same wavelength when it comes to development. And do you know what I mean? And it's like, you've got two players that are fighting for the same position, but at the same time, we don't know who's going to be the starter. So that's more work in the summer. And I've already heard some fans say, "Oh, we did too much last summer." Well, guess what? We're going to do the same thing this summer. We're going to have
Yeah,
to sign about 6, 7 players, in my opinion, minimum. I'm not even joking. Like that's not me even playing fantasy football here. If I look at the squad, there's a lot of players that are going to leave. There's a lot of players that need replacing, or
uh,
players that weren't replaced last summer that still, there's vacant spaces there. So there's a lot of players that need to be a lot of positions that need to be addressed this summer. So I wouldn't sell him. I would keep him for another year. I feel like having an experienced player like Robertson
yeah,
gives Kirkes the sort of the insurance to know that if he hasn't done well, that you've got Robertson that can come in. But at the same time, you can learn off Robertson because Robertson's not that dickhead type of person. Like he will mentor you and give you advice
yeah,
and
definitely.
try and get you ready for being the next, left back, the successor of Robertson. So I don't know, man. I feel like this club don't do logical things. They just, I
Nope.
don't know. It's all about money. It's all about business, and
Yep.
they're not really thinking from the playing side. Like you need to have a balance of youth and experience in this team. You can't just be all 22-year-olds because that's not going to work. Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't normally work in that way. So yeah, it's a frustrating one. I didn't see this coming.
Yeah.
Um, but here we are talking about it. So what we'll do, we'll go through some of the comments and we'll speak about another rumor uh involving Inter Milan. So let's go through the chat
Yeah.
and
Dumb,
see what the
dumb.
people are saying. Bo says, get the three clowns out of the club, slot Edwards and Hughes. I kind of hear it, to be honest with
Tell
you.
them,
I
Bo.
hear
Tell
it,
them.
Bo. Yeah, big up Bo. I kind of hear that. The under 21 group is honestly the best in years. If we get Alonso or someone who likes youth, it could be our class of 92. Just saying, but that needs slot to go. The thing is, that has been our philosophy for the last 10, 15 years, that we want to sign the best young players across the country, across Europe, across the continent, let's be honest, and nurture them to become ready for the first team. Just
Uh,
because we've never had the wealth like your Man Cities or your Real Madrid to just go and buy Galactico type players. Of course,
yeah.
last summer was probably a one-off, but that's not normally how we operate as a club. So youth is the way forward. So that's what we should be focusing on.
Yeah.
But I don't get the sense that this coach is tailored to develop young players like that. Like
No.
maybe and I don't mean to be disrespectful. Maybe if he was, when he was at finals, for example, of course, finals are a big Dutch team, but that's how they develop players. It's through the youth academy. They don't have the finances to go out and buy players, so he has no choice but to develop players. If that makes sense. In
Yeah.
this scenario, he can do a bit of both, and I don't feel like he's got the grasp in terms of understanding how to nurture these young players. I feel like his man management levels just stink because
Yep.
managing Rio and Trey Leone the way he has,
Yep.
I don't think it gives them confidence, and I feel like they're probably a little bit like confused. Does he rate me or does he not rate me? Because
Yeah.
you can't play a young player for like 2 minutes and 5 minutes thinking he's part of the squad.
Yep.
It doesn't make sense. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Slot to be fair. Um, So Bowles named a few players there. Josh Abe. I was watching a compilation earlier today, man. He looks like something else. I'm only
Yeah. Yeah.
15 as
Yeah.
well,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and we got to be careful because there's rumors circulating that Man City are trying to get him. They're trying to take him off us. So
Uh-oh.
got to make sure we tie him down to a contract as soon as possible, in my opinion. Bowles also mentioned Upton. Murray Home is a name Bowles mentioned before. Sonny Lamby, Farkas. I think Bowles mentioned Farkas before. And look at it, only 14. Now started two under 18 games in a row. Goal last time and an assist today. These guys are the future without Slot. Do
Mm.
you watch the academy games sometimes, Ozzy? If you want some good football, you need to watch. I haven't watched it in recent times. I have watched it here and there, but I feel like I got to keep my eye on that as well because if there's players like that could be the future. It's definitely worth watching. So yeah, I'm probably gonna have to keep an eye on it. To be fair, Ozan, big up Ozan as always. Says John W. Henry, Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards, and Ozzy. Bloody hell, he put me in the name as well. Have been
Have
have
been
been
lavish
having
in the.
lavish have been having lavish dinners at London restaurants. That's why he's late. You know
Oh
what? It's those Verts bonus checks that I've been receiving. As his agent, so
yeah, you're on the first payroll, bro.
I'm on the payroll, bro. So I've been going to lavish shisha places and stuff. You know what I mean? So that's how,
Oh,
that's how I'm living right now.
man.
Yeah. Bo says Luca Eden is honestly the Stevie G regen. I gotta check him out. Are you familiar with these players? Double
I've,
D.
I've heard the names, but I've only seen the what's the
Bits and
other
bobs.
called? The one you said the 15-year-old. I saw him play
Josh Abe. Yeah,
in
he looks
a
good, man.
game. Well, then again, actually, I watched the highlights so without knowing them necessarily on the ball.
Yeah,
When we beat Arsenal 7-0 a couple of weeks
yeah, I
ago, I
watched that as
watched
well.
that. I
Yeah,
watched that youth game, so I would have seen like a couple of these guys without knowing of all like the names when they're on the ball, etc. At the time, because when I watched the highlights, I never had any commentary on. I was just like
yeah,
watching it on my phone because I was watching another game. So
yeah,
yeah, but yeah, the 15-year-old because I saw someone actually clipped something up and sent it to me of him like dribbling and scoring and that. So yeah,
yeah,
you need to make sure we keep hold of him. You get me? But this is the thing, like the Real Madrid thing with the academy that we've seen with us selling the likes of Doak, and obviously even a few hours ago, Derby beat Thing 5-0,
yeah,
um, Bristol City, and Ryan Brewster and Bobby Clark both scored in that game.
yeah,
So it's one of them ones where just a few hours ago, like Real Madrid, not necessarily Barca with La Masia, because Barca will have the graduates and use them in the first team prevalently, but Madrid look at it as that the academy is not necessarily getting them through to the first team as them being a success. It's about how much money they can make from selling them, from obviously having
yeah,
them play for Castilla and whatnot. And it seems like that's filtered through more to the English teams as it's gone on. Because look at Villa, Chelsea, and Everton over the last
yeah,
couple of seasons have done some very strange deals, and then these players have ended up. And the thing is, look, Chukwuemeka, for instance, um, he was being used by Pochettino in the starting lineup for Chelsea,
Ah,
and then was axed, and now obviously doing okay, doing well. Not even okay, he's doing well for Dortmund. Um, some dodgy units there. So yeah, so because they're making the money, it's necessarily about them getting them the pathway to the first team. It's about making money that's going to help the club get other players from other parts of the world. So what it looks like that's partly what did like Doak and Sexton. Like, and the thing is that when these people are sent off, you're like, oh, we put good money for them, but you see Doak not, he's injured now anyway, but you see
Yeah,
Doak before the injury not starting regularly for Bournemouth, and you're sitting there and thinking the way our season's gone, you actually would have got a decent amount of minutes for us. Like just with the injuries and just but yeah, just slot just confuses me because then obviously then with players like him at the club, even if you do want to do the rotation you did, like when we sacrificed our League Cup position against Crystal Palace, those type of guys in there could have done something because we had a decent amount of the ball, but just some of those
yeah,
guys like Morrison and whatnot, with it being their first start for the seniors, they didn't have the quality or the nous to be able to um, for us to put the ball in the back of the net, and then like Palace just picked us off. I didn't even think they were outstanding in that game, but they were clinical, and that's what you have to be because it's about putting the ball in the goal.
yeah. You're right about the new model though. I feel like Chelsea are like the top of that food chain there because
Oh, definitely, Joe. Yeah, yeah,
they just love to buy young players, sell them and flip them, and that's how they're making their profit right now. And that's why they're able to spend and buy huge volume of players every summer without them actually needing those players because it's their business model. So I don't really want Liverpool to go down that route because with these young players, they all have aspirations to play for Liverpool, especially if they were boyhood Reds. You don't want them to be treated like assets. You got to treat them as human beings
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
making sure that you help fulfill their dreams of being a first team player, especially if they have the talent and the potential to get to that level. I don't really like the way football's moving, where it's very much players are being treated like objects, and it's just shift them around when you feel like it. So it's
yeah,
not the way it should be going, but unfortunately, it is the current situation. Bo says those type of players I named is the reason I don't want to sign a Wharton type or new winger. So much quality already. I hear you, but a lot of these players are like 14, 15, 16,
yeah. So
and
they can't immediately go in. Yeah,
yeah, so you have to just be very careful in terms of how you manage your players. And I always feel like with youth players, never rush them. Let them learn, let them develop, let them make mistakes at that level. So when they come up to under 21s and eventually are in a part of the first team squad, they're fully tuned to be slotted in straight away. No pun intended there. So um so there's a reason I feel like we just have to be patient. There's been so many players that I'm sure a lot of us can name over the years that we thought this fella was the next big thing and all like that, and it never panned out. So just have to manage expectations. But in terms of the next coach, hopefully we get someone that views the youth as a large part of their philosophy. Because I think going forward, that's how it should be. To be fair.
yeah,
But also, if Klopp was here, Jorge Holm and Sonny Lamby at least would have made their debuts by now. Yeah, it's a shame. It really is. Um, but also Jones in a fight with Slot as well now. Can you see the reason why we are shit is Slotty. Yeah, I hear it, but fortunately, if this move was to happen, it's come at a price, which I hope isn't the case. But you never know, I guess. Um, Ozan says, "Dinner Richard Hughes." Nah, 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 never that, never that. Yeah, never that, honestly.
Ozzy on the man them. When did you go to the Shard with them? Yeah, say no more.
Never, 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 never. Me, I've
None,
been very vocal about Richard Hughes, which this time last year. And obviously, my tune changed a little bit in the summer, but
man.
I'm
Bro,
back to being a hill now. Back to
bro,
being a
he's
hill.
Pierce, he's Pierce Brosnan again. We're in the hill mode, as you said. He's Pierce Brosnan again. When he does something constructive again, then he can get his name back, bro. You get me?
Yeah,
That's what I mean. Like, what are we doing here? Like,
I
why
know.
are we being so stubborn?
It's mad.
Why are we
Look
like?
how many injuries we have, and we haven't reacted. Like it doesn't even make sense. It really doesn't,
It's
honestly.
like I'm not just giving up self-destruct, but you get me. So if that's the case, you
Mm.
won't make Champions League football. So then therefore you better win it. And but he's got full confidence. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to
Mm.
make like drastic things, but I think they're scared about getting it wrong.
Yeah,
because then they don't want to be like a
yeah, I agree.
Chelsea, or you get
It's
what
a
I'm saying.
pride and ego thing as well because they're the ones that sought after him as well.
Exactly, they got him in as Klopp's
Mm,
replacement, so it's like, though you won the
yeah,
league, it's like as though for like long term, or if you want to call it a project or whatever, that they never made
yeah,
the right decision. So you get me. So it would seem
yeah.
like they
Spot
won
on.
the battle in terms of winning the league, but lost the war, so they don't want to do it because
And Slot is the project. That's the thing. He is the project for them. So, if he's like, a year and a half in, and then we're trying to sack him, it looks bad to them because
yeah,
I think their credentials go down as well as sporting director and CEO of football. You're not going to look at them in a certain way. So it's annoying, but unfortunately, that's why when you hear rumors about Slot getting sacked, I don't get too excited because I feel like, look, he survived that period of time where we lost 9-12. So if
yeah,
he survived that, he's gonna get the rest of the season at least. I think so.
yeah.
It's not what we want as fans. I'm sure, but I just that's what I think will be the reality. Bo's got a question there for you. Um, are you still out?
As it stands, Bo, yeah, I am. I am. I was, yeah, I'm still out, but I've said partially like my leg got caught on the fence, but he's not, the press conferences aren't helping with what he's coming
No.
out with. Like he's talking like we're some like this is the first time like we're getting in Champions League or something like that with the comments in the
Yeah,
presses. Oz already said from last season, but we didn't say it was calm about revealing too much in the press in terms of tactics. You're telling opposition what our weaknesses are, and we're still getting caught out with that. Um, the complaints about wind I'm hearing from him, and
yeah,
was it
yeah. That's
Virgil?
pathetic.
No, it was Virgil actually. It wasn't him, but
Nah,
Slaughter
it was
said
both of them.
it
They
was both
both
of them. Innit?
mentioned it.
Slaughter said other things as well in the past about
Mm,
where this or that, etc. So he's not helping himself. So yeah, the comments of the press are not helping. He's just coming with complacency and ignorance sometimes. Like
mm,
read the room, bro, and giving too much away tactically. It was all good last season, like when we beat Man United. He was talking about at Old Trafford. And he was talking about how he set the team up. It's all good when you're winning, it's cool. But then when you're losing, it's like, wait a minute, bro, like stop
yeah,
talking,
mm.
stop talking. And then with the players, as and Ozzy said it himself on some, a couple of the broadcasts when he's been by himself. Um, it's one of them ones where he doesn't, as you said it even again today, the man management is kind of like a
Yeah.
standoffish thing. Like this is what happened with Vias Boas, for instance, at Chelsea, and then
Yes.
the players rebelled against him. I'm the manager, or I'm the head coach, or whatever. You're the players. You listen to what I do, type of thing like that. And that was kind of how Rafa
Mm.
Benitez.
Like a dictatorship, isn't it?
Yeah, dictatorship. That's kind of like how Gerard said Rafa Benitez was at times
Yeah.
like that. And obviously the change from Julia, because obviously Julia used to be a school teacher, so he'll take you aside, talk to you, etc. and whatnot. So yeah, those things like that there is it's jarring. I never thought in my life. Even when I look at him now, sometimes I get angry. And that's that happened with a Liverpool manager since
Yeah. Hudson.
probably Hodgson, yeah. Because
Yeah.
even though Brendan Rodgers did stupid things like that Real Madrid game when he rested
Yeah, you're
everyone,
right.
lost 1-0, and then we played Chelsea early on the Saturday and then we lost to Chelsea anyway. I never actually hated Brendan. Like I know some people, I'm in the Liverpool WhatsApp group and they hate Brendan Rodgers. I don't hate Brendan. He did
I
some
found him
things that annoyed
annoying,
me.
to be honest with you. I
He did
found him
some things
annoying.
Gucci belts. You get me? He did some things that annoyed me, but I
Yeah.
didn't like. I'm actually looking at Scotland. I'm thinking, how can a manager that didn't even win me a league a year ago is
Yeah.
getting on my nerves this much now, bro?
It's true.
Like we sacrificed League Cup, a competition that like you had the ability to go deeper.
Yeah.
Like the starting lineup, as we discussed when we spoke after the game and I came on the pod, it wasn't as
Yeah.
such the starting lineup. It was the bench because all the
Yes.
players were in the crowd. Like even Isak, though he was injured at the time, they were all sitting there. So use a couple of them on the bench, Gakpo, a couple others, bring them on. You never know what could happen, bruv.
Mm.
Remember under Klopp when we rotated the team, it was when we won it
Yeah.
in 22, and we rotated the team against Leicester, when we brought on people and then we won on
Yeah.
penalties. We brought the game back. Minamino was scoring for fun in League Cup that season. Won the game back. And these are people on the bench. We sacrificed that for Palace to then go lose to Arsenal
I
get
know.
through and go and lose to Arsenal and
It's an
penalties and
easy
whatnot. We don't
pathway
talk
to win
about
that trophy as well. There's not that many rounds involved, so
it.
we could have got another trophy there. So yeah, he literally, and also the bench was full of youth players, and I
Yeah,
felt like he just threw them under the bus because now they're probably thinking that, oh, I didn't even get on to play, and we've lost, and it's like, oh, like they might feel low in confidence, thinking maybe they weren't good enough to start or get minutes in that game. So
and look at that, bro. In terms of we
yeah,
spoke about Ramsey earlier, Ramsey played good in that game.
he was good.
Ramsey
He
played
was
good in the
good.
Palace game, though we lost 3
Yeah.
0 and you're just treating him like he's just
Yeah,
like a menace,
Ramsey
and you're
wasn't even
loaded
in the
out.
squad in the last game. You know, when Frimpong got injured, he wasn't even in the squad. So I don't know what's going on. Like, at least have him as an option where if we need him, because we've not been blessed with our right backs. They've all picked up
Exactly.
injuries. So why not just have him as an option? Like, it's not like I don't know what his issue is. Honestly, it might be because he's a Klopp player. I don't know. He's a Klopp signing,
Yeah.
and he just wants to like not play Klopp signing. I don't know what it is because it doesn't make sense. Like every team has those kind of crisis where
Yeah.
you've got too many injuries in one department. You have to go into reserves. You have to give those players an opportunity. Whether they're good enough or not, it's another debate. But you've got to find short-term solutions, and that's what those players are. So I don't
And
know.
and
This guy,
and
he's just
another thing to add, lastly, in regards to
mm,
Bolt's question as well, is that it's in terms of the tactics as well.
mm.
Sometimes you can see things like that when we set up against Inter, for instance, and whatnot. Though
Yes, yes,
sometimes because of, but though sometimes because of the clientele, the available
yeah,
clientele, um, sometimes he's forced to play in the formation that he does. But it's the fact as well is that the pressing. You said last season yourself, and Salah said it first in that aforementioned game against Manchester United,
yeah,
right, the 3-0 win, that Salah is saying that the managers asked me not to track back. But then you
yeah,
dropped him this season for not tracking back. You said he
yeah,
said overall in multiple press conferences as well was
yeah.
that he felt under Klopp we did a lot of unnecessary running, so he didn't like the gegenpress. But we're walking now. There was a stat I saw the other day. No team walks more than Liverpool in the Premier League. How can you be
Is
on
it?
the touchline in your box or get up in the technical box or whatever and be content with seeing the team play like this? We're allowing dusty teams to play against us and build up from the back like they're flipping prime Brazil, bro. Like it's
Yeah.
disgusting. Where is the press? Where is
We
the
ain't got one.
press?
We ain't got one. It's mad.
It's diabolical, bruv. We're
Mm,
so easy to play against in the Prem
yeah.
anyway because we
There's
look
no
at top teams in
energy.
the
We don't do anything. Not even just
but we're
from the
still not
front.
tired and leggy. We're not even
Yeah,
pressing. We're still not tired. What sense does that make? What are they doing in training?
yeah.
Are they walking up mountains or something like that with rocks in a rucksack or something
Mate,
like
they're
that? Why
just
are they so
taking a walk
leggy?
around the pitch. That's what they're doing. They're not running because they're not. There's not energy there. So I don't know what they're doing in training. I don't know what
What are
kind of
they done?
drills require you
What
to
are they
walk
doing
with
in
a
training?
football. So
They climb Mount Everest in training, bro. Like what's going on? Man?
they're just going for walks in the park or something. I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
You're
It's
not
wild.
pressing. You're not giving 100% for the shirt, but you look tired. When we attack, it looks as though the opposition have always got someone at the back that can cover us. And then when we
Yeah,
defend, the opposition look like if you're not pressing, then everyone should still be in position, isn't it? But when other
yeah,
teams attack, it looks like they've got an extra player, bro.
yeah. It's true. And we've been down to like the opponents have been down to 10 men, but they look like they've got the extra player. We've had those type of games this season, so I don't know. It's like it's like the team played the game an hour ago, and then they
Thank
play
you.
the second match in a row, and then they're knackered before they get into it. So they were like 20% battery. Like that's what it feels like, and they're so lethargic that they when they're in front of goal,
Yeah,
they don't have the energy to figure out how to shoot because they're so tired. That's
because
what
you
it
know
feels like watching this team.
exactly. And then we underhit passes, and this is why Jones has been so important. Even Soboslai has been our best player this season. Sometimes
Yeah,
underhits passes, Vert sometimes underhits passes. So the options there, and if that pass is correct, we're on the edge of the opposition's box, and then they're giving them all straight to opposition, and then they come and attack down, and then it looks as though they've got an extra man. It's just an
yeah,
absolute shambles. How can we've just won the league and now we play. We've beat none of the no apart from Burnley, the 1-0. We've beat none of no other won no other games against the promoted sides, and How can we have just won the league and then we go into
Yeah,
games now and regardless of the opponent, we have no idea whether we're going to win or not? Do you know how
it's
ridiculous that is? We've just won the
crazy.
league. Now
Yeah.
anyone is an intense matchup for us. That's disgusting, bruv.
Bro, our tactics are the same. You know, like you mentioned about when we set up against Inter Milan, European games, you have to be a bit more tactically astute because it's different types of football,
Yeah,
uh, especially in those type of environments where it's a little bit more hostile. You just have to, and Italian teams, you got to defend properly, right? That's it. History will tell you that's the case.
yeah,
But our tactics are the same when we play Inter Milan or Burnley. Like it's like very ultra defensive, extra
yeah.
cautious.
No
We're not even
tactical
playing with a high line
defensive.
anymore. We're attracting pressure on
Yeah,
us, and we don't have the legs to muster that as well. So it's just tactics like below what you expect from a team like a Liverpool team. Not even that, current champions, like you mentioned, current champions.
yeah,
Or playing like we are newly promoted. Like we're not
yeah,
champions of the championship. We're champions of Premier League.
yeah.
But we're playing like we've just been newly promoted. Oh, this is new. Oh shoot, we're 2-0 up. How do we manage 2-0s?
Yeah,
Like we don't know what to do. But this is brand new for us, apparently.
it's it's
It's
it's
mad.
it's, it's just
It's
diabolical. I don't know how
mad.
you can show you can manage or you can coach against Inter, and then as you're saying, and then you play a Premier League game and look out of your depth. That's absolutely ridiculous. Now people can say, "Oh, look at Tottenham, for instance, because they're struggling in the league, but they've qualified in the top eight of the Champions League." But I'd say over their 8 games collectively, they had it easier than we did.
Go look at the
we,
fixtures.
we
It's true.
we beat all the teams in the first and second pot, but we got slapped 4-1 at home by PSV and we got
Yeah.
beaten by Galatasaray. Well, what sense? And we could all play Galatasaray again in the next stage, depending on who wins the playoff. Like, makes no
Yeah. Yeah.
makes no sense. It doesn't make. We just this team just confuses me. It really hurts my head, man. Sleepless
Just
nights. Not even a year after winning Premier, though. Like, what's going on, bro? It's just
bro,
pathetic,
I
man.
was I was already making hotel reservations for the parade again. Like, I was ready for this year. I was like, yeah, do you know what? Last year I did a day trip. This year, like, I'm gonna go for a few days and make sure I got a nice hotel.
When-
You know, the Verts money's helping me, so I can, upscale a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can go for a few
What- what-
days, and
what's it? What's it? Where is it? Is it Hungary? Where's Champs final this year? Is it Hungary or?
it's in Budapest. Yeah,
Yeah, it's in Budapest. You're better off doing that, bro, because we're more equipped to win Champs than league. We look like we could get whooped by anyone in the league. Like Newcastle tomorrow, if we play well, we'll win.
yeah,
But if we are just a little bit off it, they have the quality. Even without Gibberish,
yeah.
though he may be fit for it. I think I
I
heard.
think he's back. He
They-
he he was on the bench against PSG, so he could
yeah, so there you
be
go.
involved.
So
Mm,
we could get slapped.
yeah,
Anthony
it's
Gordon's been scoring freely in Champions League, but not
yeah.
in
He's
Premier.
been looking good.
This will be the perfect state. You know you always scores against us. This will be the perfect stage for
Of
him.
course,
So we could get whooped again, bro. We could get
of
whooped
course,
again later.
of course. It's true. It's true. I'm not looking forward to this fixture. We'll talk about it in the show, but yeah, I'm not looking forward to this fixture at all. Uh, Dad's asking, slightly off topic, but he's asking, Double D, did you watch SmackDown today?
No, no, no. I've been at a funeral, Daz. I literally got back in half an hour before this started. So yeah, I've not even seen SmackDown.
You can catch up with it.
I have to try to
Later
squeeze it in when
tomorrow.
I get back from the radio show.
Yeah. Odds asks, when does the window close in Europe? I think it closes on Monday, right?
I think
2nd
on
of Feb.
Monday, yeah, yeah, yeah. They don't
Uh,
close it on a Sunday. I think it will be Monday. I don't know
Monday,
whether
innit?
it'll be an early 7 finish or a 10 o'clock one. I don't know.
Yeah, as that's confirmed, 7 p.m. on Monday. So
Ah,
yeah, that's
there
when
you
it
go. There
closes.
you
So
go. There you go.
so we've got a few. So cool. So we're gonna see a whole lot of rumors over the next few days. It'll be
Yep.
rumors just for me to talk about, but it ain't gonna be rumors where we're gonna sign. I don't think we're gonna sign anyone. I'm not really falling for this sort of trick. But hey, we'll see what happens.
Bruv, we're gonna
Um,
bash Schlotterbeck. What are you talking about? We're gonna bash Schlotterbeck, bruv.
yeah,
Come on, man.
that's the summer signing. But I
Optimism.
don't. That's me. Yeah, that's another dream list right there. But I
I
don't
take
know.
a loan, bro. I take a loan.
Yeah.
We you think Adam Wharton's quality. He just gets
Yeah,
injured
I
a
like
lot.
Adam Wharton. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's rubbish. I think in terms of his passing range, like he's really special. I think he's got a good range, got a good eye for a pass.
Yeah,
If
tenacious
I
as
was to
well.
present any sort of cons, he's not the most sort of agile or pacey sort of midfielder. But then again, that's not really his game. He's a midfielder. It's more about dictating play and being a
Yeah,
playmaker from a deeper midfield position. So,
yeah.
no, I rate Wharton. I think he's a good player,
Yes,
but I would want to add Wharton to our squad rather than
yes.
sell
Can
and
replace
then sell
someone.
Jones
Yeah.
to get him in place. If that makes sense, that's not what I want to see. To be honest with you, Ozans asks your Aussie and Double D. Do you man think realistically we can win the Champions League?
Yeah, be good because we've got Europe football heritage. Yeah, Jose
Yeah,
Mourinho has football
yeah,
heritage. We could, but if you really ask me at the end of the day, I feel that with how open we can be defensively, I think we could go
yeah,
deep in the competition. And with how deep, sorry, how the mistakes we can make defensively, Barca, Bayern, or PSG, should they all like, well, Barca in the top eight, but should PSG get through their playoff, whatever, I think
yeah,
those three teams there in particular could embarrass us. Yeah. If
yeah,
we do the nonsense we've been doing, Elise will feed Kane at will if we played Bayern. And then obviously Lucho will have the bit between the teeth against his former club.
yeah. He would.
Barca have got Yamal, um, Rafinha, Lewandowski, and even if it was a case where he was to come off the bench or start, Marcus Rashford loves a goal against against Liverpool,
Liverpool, yeah,
and then obviously PSG have just the midfielders can chip in goals, then Bele, etc. They've just got quality all over the pitch. So those are the three teams in particular that I would be scared of. But Liverpool on job,
mm,
depending on who's fit, because last season he proved against PSG we could be completely outplayed and Allison could keep us in games. So yeah,
mm,
we could. But do I think we will? Definitely no. Nah, too much stupidity defensively, and most importantly as well. Hopefully, the free kick would have given them confidence. But when you are not at your best, you need Mo Salah to be sharp, and at the moment he's not sharp.
mhm.
So I hope he's ping that free kick in, and he'll start against Newcastle and get a goal against them as well.
Yeah. I don't think we will. I don't think we have the squad for it. To be fair, I think in terms of the players we have, that sort of technical style of football does suit us in European competitions, but we don't have the squad. We're depleted in terms of defensive numbers,
Mm.
and with the squad, sorry, with the owners not reinforcing the squad in this window, I don't see us, excelling in the Premier League or in the Champions League, quite frankly, and the FA Cup. I wouldn't be surprised if he, you know, throws that away as well at some point. I just don't know with this coach right now.
We've got Brighton in the FA Cup, haven't we?
Oh, do we have Brighton?
Yeah,
Yes,
but
yeah,
I'm sure it's Brighton we've got in the FA Cup. Let me double
it
check,
might be.
but because if it
It
is,
might be.
I'm off it. We're out, bruv.
We are, and I'll be honest with you. I'm not fully confident that we will even get top four, top five. If I'm being honest with you,
I don't know
I,
if ever we needed the league to be five places again for Champions League this season because I haven't got confidence at the moment.
yeah,
Chelsea are keeping it afloat without a fully fit Cole Palmer. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying? And
yeah,
they're having people pop up, get goals and whatnot. Sanchez, though, can still do absolute stupidity, is making
mm,
key saves. Um, so yeah, Villa doing their thing. Yeah, I don't trust us for top four. And this is the thing that I'm saying is that wouldn't you think if you're going to keep him in the job, you try all you can, as I'm saying, even if it's a loan, to give him tools to work with to get us top four. Because if we don't, bro, catastrophic for a club of this nature.
yeah,
Champions League money compared to Europa League money is
yeah,
massive. We cannot
yeah.
afford to be out of this competition.
We just got 44 million from qualifying into the next phase,
There you
so
go.
that's the levels. It's very true. Um, but there's some wild comments here. Let me go through some of the comments.
Yeah, we're at home to Brighton on Valentine's Day, 8 o'clock
Okay.
kickoff.
Yeah, it's not going to be a romantic evening for sure. We're
It's,
going to get this match.
it's definitely not going to be romantic. It could be a pillaging, you know what I mean, for us. Man. You get what I'm
Trust
saying?
me.
I'll just use that word. I was going to use another word, but there might be some kids locked in, so I mean, or some kids that watch the replay.
Yeah, exactly.
You think slot goes?
Yeah, what do you think?
If we get pumped by Newcastle or Man City, bye. Which will make them look
Hope
even
so.
more stupid for not doing anything in the window. You see it?
Yeah.
So
But that's typical Liverpool, though. That would be typical Liverpool, where we get thumped by these teams, and then we're like, oh, we got to change the manager because the league is so congested right now. We're only 3 points away from 11th, and we're like, not far off fourth. Like it's
well,
really weird. Do you get us?
everyone's everyone's beating each other. People made their silly comments last season saying the league wasn't all that. That's why we won it. But this season it's in the even worse state.
It's even worse,
For a
and it's
neutral, it's
like it's
weird
just
because
like
anyone can beat anyone. Packed and it's packed in there, as you're
it's
saying.
Sunday
But
league football, man. It's Sunday league football. We're all playing long balls, physical.
it's
It's
horrible to
that kind
watch,
of
isn't it?
football.
Absolutely horrible league to watch at the moment.
It is. It is. Like, bro, you probably see me in the watch hours. I struggle to stay awake. Like me, like dozing off. It's not fake. I'm actually dozing off. You know what? It's 20 minutes in the game and I'm
Yeah,
dozing off.
yeah,
It's bad. It's so bad, honestly. And it's not getting better. Like the 6-0 one the other day, I was just excited that we scored some goals.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I know it wasn't a great opponent, but beggars can't be choosers, I guess, in those kind of moments. So I was gassed. Every player is good enough if you got good coach, simple as that. Not a good motive and tactical. Every player was five. I agree. I agree to that. Um, okay, one more rumor, and then we'll get into the formalities of the show, which is of
Yeah.
course the match preview of Liverpool versus Newcastle. Now, this rumor came about. So Liverpool have apparently made a move to sign Denzel Dumfries, according to Gianluca Di Marzio. Um, I'd like to get your thoughts. What do you make of this link with Dumfries to Liverpool?
Dumfries leaving Inter because that's probably our Italian teams. It's a nice, you get me.
Yeah.
I'm always keeping tabs on things, but Dumfries leaving Inter there's been rumours and little things popping up for a while. But
Okay.
again, then if you do that, then where would that? Well, Buddy's out for the rest of the season, we know. But then where would that leave Frimpong though? He keeps on getting injured because this is a Dutch international, so he would not be moving unless he knows he's going to get good playing time before the World
Mm,
Cup, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense on his behalf.
that's a good point.
So yeah, so we'll see. I think it might just be a case where it's been a slow back end of the window, and Fabrizio will, for the right, he'll put
Yeah,
anything out there.
those
He-
impressions, right? Those
But
impressions equal to dollar signs.
this guy for the last 9 months or so will come on a Premier League game between flipping Fulham and flipping
Yeah.
Leeds, and they'll say, "Who's your man of the match?" Fuck out of here! Give me my transfer news or piss off. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear about this rating or this. Oh, he's putting up stats or something like that, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So so yeah, but we'll see. I'm a fan of the player
Mm,
from even before he joined Inter.
mm,
So yeah, that would be great. But if it means Curtis Jones going the other way, no, I'd rather give Ramsey an opportunity, and then if need be, well, I prefer Endo to play there because we need sober-sized
yeah.
legs in midfield, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And Dom can
True.
do a job there or whatever. So yeah, I would prefer that if that means Jones going the other way, because obviously then again, obviously as I said earlier, Jones
Mm,
can play right, feeling the right back too, though I want him
yeah.
in the midfield because he deserves to be starting ahead of McAllister, as even you said about half an
Yeah.
hour ago. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, but yeah, this come out of nowhere. I'm just like, because obviously, as I said, I've not been in the house today. I
Yeah.
just like it come up as a notification on my phone, and I was like, Dumfries. I'm
Random,
like,
innit?
Dumfries.
Mm,
But
yeah.
The Jones one made me stop. It's what I was doing on the spot. But I was like, "There's no way in this world this team is stupid. If you let
Yeah.
Robbo and him go, which is bad
Yeah.
enough, but they don't get anyone in, I'm not watching any more Premier League games for the rest of the season. I will only watch champs. And if we somehow get past Brighton because I don't trust this club, I'll
Yeah.
watch the Prem. What's the point? For us to play good for a decent amount of time, not take our chances and then get bullied and concede goals. It's sickening,
Mm,
bro. It's sickening. The
nah,
last minute goal. Imagine when we beat. Obviously, we had some late goals to start the
yeah,
season, but imagine when we beat. We lost late to Chelsea. We drew
yeah,
because you didn't go late to Leeds to draw 3-3. We've lost
yeah,
to Bournemouth 3-2 with a late goal. There was who else? Because late goal against Man United for them to
yeah,
win 2. I'm trying to think. There's one glaring one that's not coming to me. But so many stupid late goals conceded that I've
yeah,
just that's mad.
yeah. That's mad. In
That's
terms
mad.
of this rumor, look, I think Dumfries is a good player. I think he's decent.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm not sure about this one. And the key detail for me, he's injured. He's been injured since November. So he's got an ankle injury. He had to
He'll
have
fit,
surgery,
he'll fit
and
right in, Broski. He'll fit right in at the club. He's injured.
we love an injury prone player, don't we? So he's not even available until end of Feb. So what's the point of getting him on board where, technically speaking, he will be available from March up till May for 2 months? That doesn't really make sense to me because I think by that time Frimpong could be available because stock
Yeah.
confirmed today it wasn't as bad as first feared.
Yeah.
So maybe if a 4 or 5 week layoff might be the case. So what's the point of doing that? If this was a loan signing, then maybe I wouldn't be too against it. But I think you've made a very key point there. It's World Cup in the summer. Why would he join a club where even if he gets game time, there's no guarantee that he will adjust right away. He's never played Premier League football before,
Yeah.
and as everyone knows, some players, you know, they gel very quickly. As in, they play to their level straight away. It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen sometimes. But I don't think Dumfries is one of the players that will adjust right away. So for me, it's a bit of a random one. I think he's a decent player, uh, but I just don't. It just doesn't make
Oh
sense
no,
to me.
Dumfries is quality, but for me, he suits the Inter position because I think he's better
Yeah,
as a wing back, a roaming
as
wing
a wing back, correct,
than in a
correct.
than in a four. Um, but that is someone that if he gets into positions that Frimpong gets in, he's putting the ball in the back of the net.
He's got
You,
better
get- you,
crossing
get,
ability as well.
you get what I'm
So
saying?
yeah,
Not just of course, I'm saying, but he can finish for a
he can
for
finish as well.
full
Yeah,
back or wing back. This guy can finish with headed
yeah,
goals, wicked strike, edge of the box and whatnot, placing shots and whatnot. You get what I'm saying? And that brings a whole different dimension to your attack. Obviously,
mm,
we had someone before who had the passing range of a flipping
yeah,
central midfielder in Trent. You get what I'm saying? But Dumfries is, you get what I'm saying? But so
yeah,
I'm all for it as long as it doesn't involve Curtis Jones going the other way, depending on what happens with Davide Fratesi. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying? If Jones is involved, come to my club all day long. But otherwise, don't want it. If it requires Jones going the other way, I'm not. But I'm not into that, man. So silly, bruv. You need to be able to manage games, manipulate games. Someone's there that can help with that Jones, and you want to sell him because of a bust up. Like what is slot on? He's moving like one of the people. Like players and managers have arguments all the time, just like fellow players have arguments all the time. Why is it?
yeah,
Does it all these rumours? As you said, him and Jones had the spat. 48 hours later, Tottenham rumours. Now it's Inter.
yeah.
Like this is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's true. I concur, man. I don't know. Something needs to change, but I don't think the answer is selling Jones to Inter and not replacing him and then bringing in Dumfries. I don't know if the Dumfries one is even true, but selling Curtis Jones at this stage where we're very light in defense, but even in midfield, I would say because we've got Gravenberg, but Gravenberg's been utilized as centre back.
This is what I'm saying,
McAllister's
bro.
been in great form,
we,
huh?
we have, but this is what I'm saying, bro. As you're saying, like it makes us like we feel because
Yeah,
Sobers, apart from McAllister, Sobers, like Gravenberch, Endo, all these midfielders will
yeah.
be used at
They've
the
all
back.
played in defense. So
So it makes a team already with them men in their natural positions were weak. You're making us even
it's
weaker.
true.
Like this is just self
Yeah,
sabotage of the highest order. It makes no
yeah,
form of sense what we're doing at the moment. Like
it's true.
Russian
No, it's
roulette,
fact.
Russian roulette out here, bro.
Trust me. No, it's true. It's
Come on.
it's very, very true. All right, let's talk about this game that's coming up tomorrow evening. So Quick assessment of Newcastle. Currently ninth position in the table, only 3 points away from Liverpool, who are currently sixth. In the last 5 games, they've won 3 games, one draw and one defeat. The defeat was in their last fixture against Aston Villa, which they lost 2-0. But they bounced back and produced a good 1-1 result against current European champions in PSG. So for me, that is evident that this is a team that's on the up. And if they were to get a win, it could be the boost that they need to challenge for a top four finish. Now, I will say one thing. It's going to be very interesting to see what kind of team Eddie Howe puts out because they have a huge game on Wednesday against Man City in
City, yeah, 2-0 down in the cup.
in the Carabao Cup. So is he going to go for it where he feels a stronger team for that and rotates in this one? It's going to be an interesting one, and we'll have to wait and see because more than likely you're thinking he'll go strong, especially since Newcastle have instilled some sort of hatred towards us since the summer for obvious reasons, of course. But
Yeah,
that's what's going to be interesting for me in terms of how they set their team up going forward. Now, I don't know if you watched the press conference, but Slot wasn't as reckless today. He was still talking a little bit rubbish, but
oh, so,
I'll
so, so
give.
what you got the speed? You got
I've got a few details, but it was
you got
it
the
was
speed
more
down
about
to.
being. No, no, no. To be fair, he wasn't as reckless today. Um, so they asked him about transfers, and they asked him, if they thought that Liverpool were going to sign any players, and he said that if we think we've addressed a player, that was his words, then
Yeah,
they will go on to do that. But then the journalist asked him, so it looks unlikely that you're going to sign a player. And he says, why is it unlikely? So he tries to give a little slight indication that there's something happening in the background, but let's not kill ourselves. Nothing's going to happen. So that's just, monitoring FC or information FC, however you want to call it. We're not signing anyone. And then he spoke about the young players. So he spoke about Rio,
yeah,
saying that he's come in when we need a goal and in moments where the game hasn't been decided. And he also spoke about Trey Nioni and Ahmad Nalo as well. So said that both the players have come in during League Cup matches and when there's a big scoreline. Nioni is showing that he's coming closer to first team selection and is developing well, which is positive to hear him say that out loud because although we throw shade at him in terms of not managing youth players, I feel like
yeah.
he needs to say this a bit more so we kind of know where his head is at.
Yeah,
So if he
boost them,
so if he feels
uplift
like
them, man.
Neon is close, huh?
No, I'm saying, yeah, boost them. As you're saying, say it more. Boost them, uplift them, man.
Say it more,
He's always,
exactly because that's what
with
Klopp used to
Chiesa
do.
or whoever, he's always having these little pops at people, man. Come on, man.
I know. And then he said that into the Amar Nala, like he said that he's a bit more further away. But what he did say, he did spin it and he did say that well, he deserves credit for having a difficult start with, of course, the 2 red cards that he got in his last 2 cameos. He's shown a strong mentality, and that's why he was rewarded with an appearance due to his hard work from under 21. So positive, which is good to hear.
Yeah.
He also gave us an update on Jaden Dans and Bashtic. So in terms of Jaden Dans, he said that if he was fit, he would be in the squad, but unfortunately, he's been very unlucky with injuries. But he's got a strong mentality. And look, if he was available, this would have been a great moment for him to challenge for a spot with Isak being out. In terms of Bashich, he said that this fella hasn't trained with the team. He makes slow progress, but as he gets closer to full training, there's another setback. And that's happened quite a few times this season. And he said the last time that he trained with the team, uh, he's been out for 6 months. So that indicates to me that he's struggling at the current club. Whether it's the training regime that is too intense for him, I'm not quite so sure. But he's of course, got a lot of injuries going on, so it's not looking positive in terms of Bashish being involved because, according to some fans, he was about to be the savior, which I never really understood. But
You
he's
know
a
what?
very
I,
talented player.
Do you know
Huh?
what? I was full in on that Saviour thing until we that game we got smacked by Madrid when he did that unnecessary pirouette and then they hit
Yeah,
us on the counter and scored. But if you get me, it was so unnecessary. I think
yeah,
Anfield was booming. We were 2-0 up, and then uh, he got a bit excited. But yeah,
yeah,
it seems like, as you're saying, he was pushed too hard, training, etc. And obviously, when you're still growing, because obviously you don't still grow to 21, and
yeah,
his bones, etc., and whatnot, have been messed up. The factual figures with him is that he would be needed because he spent the
mm,
second part of last season on loan at Las Palmas, and he played centre half predominantly, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. Exactly. He
So,
would actually be
so,
useful for us.
so he would be very
Mm,
useful because then that's someone you can dump the ball off to that can carry it forward,
yeah,
drop it off to the midfielders, go back, or if that is a case of Gavin Birch going back to fill that position, etc. You get me? So
yeah.
we really need him, but yeah, this is very
Something's
concerning.
up. Yeah, it's a bit of a concern because he'll make a bit of progress, but then he'll be out for a few months as well. So
Yeah,
something's up, which we of course don't know. But hopefully he makes some level of recovery where he's allowed to play first team football again. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see in terms of what happens with Bajtic. Now, moving on to the team news. So this was the update that we got from this conference today. So Frimpong injury isn't as bad as first feared, so he won't be available for tomorrow, but could be available in the next few weeks. Konate has trained and will be part of the squad tomorrow, so we'll see if he is in the starting lineup or not. Um, Jones is apparently available after recovering from illness. I'm not actually sure if that illness was real, to be fair. Um, Joe Gomez is still unavailable, but should be available in due course. A question was presented about Isak, but he said Isak hasn't even touched the training ground yet, so he's not going to be around anytime soon. And Bradley Leone remain on the sidelines for the rest of the season. In terms of Newcastle, John Linton is out for the next few weeks with a groin injury. Livramento, Kraft, and Fabian Shaw are also on the sidelines. But Guimaraes returns to the squad. So what we'll do now, we'll present a graphic to predict the lineups. And we'll start with. Let me put myself in double D on the screen. Um, so first question, double D. What formation do you think they'll go with? Because generally they play a 4-3-3 formation, but
yeah.
against PSG they play the 3-4-3. They play with a back three. So do you think they're gonna go with a back three or they're gonna revert back to a four
I
three
think
three formation?
I think I may be wrong, but I think they'll go back to four at the back.
Four at the back.
I
So
think
four three
yeah, I
three
think
formation,
it'll
you're
I
saying.
think 4-3-3. Don't know
Hmm.
to could
Okay.
be wrong, but yeah.
You never know because they've not played that back three consistently. It's only been here and there.
Yeah.
But traditionally, they do play with back four. So, in terms of the goalkeeper, I think there's no debate. It's going to be Nick Pope in goal. So, who will start at left back for you?
It has to be Lewis Hall. Obviously, I'm bearing in mind obviously what you're saying in regards to them having the League Cup game, but I think Lewis
Yeah,
Hall,
they've still
even
got
in that,
strong. I think.
I really rate Lewis Hall,
Yeah,
um,
he's quality. He's
because
quality.
he was a wing back at Chelsea, but to play in a four, he's spoken about working closely, talking to how working
Yeah,
with the coaches, and he's improved defensively. Like I rate him so.
he's very good defensively. I've been very impressed with his
Yeah,
development at the club.
really good
Um,
crosser on the ball as well.
yeah, he is. Who plays at right back for them? Trippier would be right.
Yeah, because is it Liverpool still out? So it will be
Livamento's
Trippier.
out, so Livramento
Yeah,
has a thigh injury, so he's not available for this fixture.
yeah. So yeah, it will be Trips.
So with Trippier. So who's the centre back pairing? So Fabian Shaw is not available. So you've got the likes of
Uh,
Botman,
and yeah,
Burn,
we've got
and you've got
and
Fiao as well.
TL, TL, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. TL's very good. That's the type of signing we should have been making, man.
bro. I think we were talking about him, weren't we, in the summer? Because we faced him.
Yeah,
East
we're
Milan.
monitoring FC, aren't we? You get me? Monitoring FC. Yeah, that's what we do.
We
Like,
love to
look,
monitor.
all these midfielders, yeah, whether it be Alcaraz, who obviously went first to Southampton a couple of seasons ago, went to
Yeah,
Brazil, I think he's at Everton now, whether it be Alcaraz, whether it be Mateus Fernandez, that is at
mm.
West
Man
Ham
City
now.
now.
he went to Southampton as well first.
Yeah, yeah,
Mateus Nunes was your guy doing that quite well at right back.
yeah.
For Manchester
Surprisingly,
City,
yeah,
though obviously he's a cultured centre mid. You've got
yeah.
obviously Florentino Luis. We got priced out at that when we tried to get him a few seasons ago. They were telling him man 65 million, and now he's on loan at Burnley. Bruno
Yeah.
Guimaraes, we were meant to buy. I read something like that a couple of
We
seasons
were,
ago. But you get
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like, look at what the midfield we could have had, bro. Not obviously because of each one of those, but just what you know what I'm saying. Look at what we could have had. Like, come on.
bro. We are the definition of window shoppers. Honestly, we really are. We just check things. We don't buy things like that. It's so annoying, and we've lost out on so many players over the years. I feel like we could literally do like a 5 hour show and stuff like that. From like beneath his era to like to now. Like we've lost
Yeah,
out on so many players. So
yeah.
but yeah, that's probably another discussion for another day. Who partners TL in the defense, do you think? Would it be Burn or would it be
Uh,
who else is their options?
Bird
You
back
got
in it.
Botman as well?
Yeah, but I think oh yeah, Bird. I don't see Dan Bird not
Yeah,
playing unless he goes. But then, yeah, as you're saying, it could be free at the back again to try and neutralise us. And then it's
yeah,
TL, Botman, and Bird. Ooh, I'm confused now. Anyway, let's leave it at 4 because that's too long. But yeah, put Dan Bird in. Put Dan Bird in.
yeah. I think Burn would be the wise choice because of course in terms of his stature, physically, I don't think no one's gonna muscle him. And also if he's in a situation where he's out on the channels, he's normally decent up against Salah, and he's kept Salah from a Newcastle point. He's kept him quiet. So
Yeah.
I feel like he makes the most sense there. In terms of the midfield, who are you going with in the three in the midfield?
Um, Miley. I'm gonna
Tonali,
book Gimarash. I'm gonna book Gimarash in. I
yeah,
think Tonali might be rested for the thingy game because Tonali. Oh, you're putting Tonali in because Tonali's
yeah.
missed a
I think
couple of games recently. He might be rested for the cup tie, as you were
you
saying,
think he'll be
because
rested.
he's not been afraid to take Tonali at the starting lineup recently.
Okay, so who would you go with in the midfield?
Um, I Joe Linton's fit, right?
No, he's injured. He's out
Yeah, I
for a
was gonna
few
think
weeks.
he got injured. Yeah, yeah, he got injured. Over there. Yeah, so I'm gonna go
Mm,
Miley, Ramsey, and no, actually Tonali will have to start, won't he?
I think
I'd say
Tonali has to start.
yeah, I was going Miley, Tonali, and Ramsey. But even Joe Willock scored a goal, so he's put himself into. They've got
Mm.
even with the injuries, they've still got a few options.
Would you not go with Gomes, or do you think it's too soon for him to start?
Um,
Bruno Gomes.
yeah, yeah, now
I feel like they'll start him.
put him in, yeah, put him in, should.
Yeah, I think they might start him. I think they'll start him just to rattle us as well because he likes to annoy our players as well. Uh, Up top, is it Wissa or is it Voltemart?
I think it's then again, no, actually, because certain bold-headed people want to talk about our problems at the back, they'll
Mm,
probably start Voltamada, even though
I think
heading's
so.
not even his strongest point anyway.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. Yeah, he's because we were linked to him in the summer, so I did a bit of research on him as well. Like he's an interesting player. Like very silky on the ball,
Yep,
great hold up play.
yep.
Not renowned for like his heading ability, but
Not
everything else. Great touch, great
link up though,
finisher,
yeah.
good player. And on the wings, I'm assuming it'll be Barnes, or would you go for Alanga? Who? Because Alanga started in the
If
game
they're smart,
against
they'll
PSG.
start. If they're smart, they'll start Harvey Barnes, and I think yeah, it will be Barnes because he's their most like informed guy.
Winger right now.
Uh,
Mm.
Get me? So yeah, I do think it will be him still.
Barnes on the right. Is that what you would say?
Uh, yeah, it probably will be Barnes on the right and then Gordon on the left, isn't it?
Ball on the left. Yeah, I agree. I think that's the front three that they're going to go with as well. So yeah, this is our predicted Newcastle lineup. I'm expecting to be close enough to this. To be fair, I know Willock scored against PSG, but I feel like he'll probably be used as more of an impact player, as well as Wissa. I feel like those would be good options for them to have if they wanted to, create any havoc for us in the second half. So this is our predicted lineup for Newcastle. So let's quickly move on, and we will do the lineup for Liverpool. So I think it's going to be a 4-2-3-1 formation. That's what I'm expecting. So let's start. So Ali in goal, of course. I don't think that's going to be too much of a debate. Okay, who starts at right back for you?
I don't want it to be
Just to drop you,
Soboslai.
drop you there.
I don't want it to be Soboslai. It could be anyone. It could be Soboslai. It could be Jones. It could be Endo.
Mm.
Um, I'd love it to be Ramsey, but it won't be. I'm unfortunately going to have to go for Soboslai.
Are you going for Sabosli?
I don't want that to happen. He needs to be midfield for us to beat these guys. But a Rend is just a Rend slot.
Wow. Okay.
You can't get Arda back until we until he does
All
something
right. I'm
constructive.
going to present your lineup, and then I'll make alterations. I'll tell you what I will do. So I'm going to put
Yeah,
yours in first.
yeah,
So you've gone for Sabosli.
yeah.
In your defense, do you bring in Kanate or do you stick with Gravenberch in the defense
Oh, I don't think
or
Canati
Endo?
will be. I think Canati's still on leave. I'm gonna
No,
go.
he trained. He trained today.
Oh, he did trick. All right, yeah,
Yeah, he
all right.
trained. I think he trained yesterday and today. So he's been back in training now.
Yeah, because I've been out all day. I haven't even
Yeah, yeah.
like
So he's in the squad. He'll
shows
be in the
things.
squad.
Okay, yeah. So let's put Ibu in then. I hope good. Like, may his dad rest in perfect peace for us.
Yeah, may rest in peace, 100%. And then Virgil, of course, and left back Kirkis
I want him to
or
play
Robbo.
Robbo, but he'll play Kirkers. I don't think see him starting Robbo 2 games in a row. Kirkers, you better have a good game because you've been doing my nutting for most of this season, man. Jesus Christ, moving like some hothead. That like when you let a kid, like obviously you know because you have kids. I don't. You go to like what's that? Is it Gambardo's or whatever? You go somewhere like that, and then you just let them off the leash and they just go running. That's
Yeah, they're
Kirkers, bro.
going wild.
That's Kirkers in a bullpen or something like that, bro. I'm just happy to be here, bro. Like let me enjoy myself. Let me enjoy. Do you remember when we played Bournemouth in the opening game and even the commentators were cooking him, saying that if you
Yeah,
saw that a new left back had been bought, you would like Liverpool thing, you would have thought it was Chauffeur
yeah,
and not Kirkes, bro, because he
I know.
found his former teammate Semenyo, like he always killed him, and there's
He was
been
trying
nothing.
to take him out in that game. Honestly, he was going all over the place. Yeah, he was wild in that game. Um,
Yeah,
okay, we'll stick with Kirkez. What are you saying for the double pivot? Who starts?
this is the problem now with the defense that I'm going to go Birch, Jones, and uh, Mac 10.
Okay.
Realistically, I prefer someone else at right back, so Soboslai can cook in midfield.
So Groundberg and Jones you're going with.
I'm telling you though, if Curtis Jones doesn't start tomorrow, or today rather, because it's after midnight now, if Curtis
Yeah,
Jones
yeah.
does not start, I'm going to cry.
He hasn't started in the last three games, which is a bit of a worry, if I'm being honest
I'm
with
going
you.
to cry. It's,
It's
I'm
literally
like, what's
since
going
that
on?
spat, he hasn't started a game. Apparently he's been ill for the last week, a few days, but I'm not buying that if I'm being honest with you. Um, Salah, I'm assuming you're gonna play on the right. Who plays in your number
Yeah,
10 role and who plays on
yeah,
the left?
yeah. Oh, I said, yeah, Mac. I think it will still be Mac.
You're going for Mac, okay.
Yeah.
And you're going for Verts on the left or Gakpo?
Oh, shoot. Yeah, do you know what? I'm thinking of Cody. Yeah, Cody did start on Wednesday.
Yeah, he did start, yeah.
Ooh, ooh, will Salah be
He was rubbish though, if I'm being honest with you. He had bare
Will Salah
chances.
be benched? Do you know what? Actually, then this Muppet
Mm.
is going to continue his thingy, bruv. Um, yeah, Cody. I'm Cody's biggest fan, but it wasn't. Well, actually, I don't think he was rubbish, but was it a great game? No.
He
and
had a
I'm a
lot
big
of shots though.
and I'm a,
He could have
and I'm
scored a hat trick that game,
and
easy.
I'm a big Cody fan. Um, ooh, I might have to be Jones out then, and then
Okay,
nah, put Cody. No, actually, think no. Leave it like that. Verts on the left, and then Ekatike up top, bruv. Let me use my telekinetic powers to make sure Curtis Jones stays at the football club.
okay. So this is Double D's 11. So feel free to drop a comment, guys, and let us know what you think. Now, the team that I had in mind, slightly different. So let me surprise a few people. At right back, hold on. Actually, before I remove him, so I'm in Szoboszlai there.
Yeah,
So McAllister's getting dropped.
Endo.
Endo. I'm going for Endo at right back. I'm
Cool.
not saying that's like the best scenario, but I feel like up against Gordon, it might be useful to have a player like Endo where it's a bit more defense focused and try and stop him having any influence in the team. So I'll go with Endo at right back. Um,
Just don't get that yellow card too early, Endo.
yeah.
Get it in the second
I
half.
would personally go with Jones in midfield, but I don't think Slot will. So I think it will be McAllister. That starts in this one. I
Yeah,
don't agree with that, but I think this will be it. Um, and is that my team? That is pretty much my team. So I've only made a couple of changes. So
yeah,
Endo at right back, and Szoboszlai instead of Gakpo. So allowing Verts to play as an inside attacker from the left hand side. So that's my team there. And I know a couple of you have also presented your team. So let me bring it up onto the screen. Daz has gone for Allison Ramsey. I think everyone wants Ramsey, but I don't think Ramsey will play. Ibu Van Dijk, Kirkes, Ryan, Jones, Dom, McAllister, Mo, Hugo, and Verse. Okay, so Dom in the 10, uh, Salah on the right, Hugo up top, and then Verse on the left. I think, okay, interesting. Uh, Bowles gone for Ali, Endo, Virgil, Robbo. So Robbo at centre back. Kirkes.
that's an option. That is an option.
He is an option, especially if Kanate is not ready. That is definitely an option. Kirkes, Grav, Jones, Chiesa. I don't think he's going to start Chiesa. Bertz, Soboslai, and Ekatike. So that's no Salah. That's a
Yes,
bit of a surprise. I know Salah's not been in great form, but I would still start with Salah, to be fair.
yeah,
Um, and we've got who do we have? We have Armin. Big up Armin. He says Jonathan out. Yes, he is.
yeah.
Bruno 50-50. No Livramento. He's just followed you on X. So big up to Armin for following Double D on
I'm
X.
just coming
And
back
if you
still.
guys haven't done already, please make sure to follow Double D's at Double D on Twitter /X. So yeah, please do follow him. I think we should do Jones right back, suppose live midfield. That is also an option as well, to be honest with
Yeah,
you. Deleuze doesn't want to see Sobos like at right back. I don't think
yeah.
none of us do, but Double D mentioned in his lineup that it could be a possibility.
Hope not,
Steve
but
says some people in the chat would love that 5 hour show. Yeah,
yeah. Will you say Lee Gunner settings, yeah?
not anytime soon, that's for sure. Ramsey, I would personally start with Ramsey because you've got an orthodox right back in your squad. He might not be the highest of caliber, but you got to give the guy an opportunity, right? But I don't think this manager will. So I don't think that's going to happen. Uh, hmm, Steve saying Oz won't be doing a live watch on tomorrow. Come on, bro. You know what? Usually I would, but with the wrestling, I was saying that with the before we start. I've got family members coming through to watch Royal Rumble. My family are big wrestling fans, so yeah, unfortunately, I won't be able to do it. But yeah, hopefully it's a good result, and I could come back on Sunday and talk about it. If it's a terrible result, yeah, I probably won't do a show. But let's see how it goes. Honestly, I think he makes the squad tomorrow, Jones. I hope so. I have a feeling he won't start, but that's just my feeling. Especially with this rumor circulating, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get any game time. To be fair, that's it. I would have put Ramsey right back and Dom in 10. I would as well, but there's no evidence to see that that will happen. Unfortunately, but you don't rate McAllister. I don't rate him. This is not really my team as such. I think this is what Slot will do. I would personally go with Jones and Graham, but I think that's been the best combination the last few weeks. But I think because McAllister's played a bit better, and when I say bit, I literally mean a bit better. I think he's going to stick with him. So that's what the way I'm looking at it. Uh, but I think in this game you need a Curtis Jones because even though the likes of Joe Linton aren't playing, there's still uncertainty if Guimaraes will start either. You know, they've still got Tonali. They've got Miley, who's a runner as well. You need to match them with energy and a bit of physicality as well. So I feel like you need to have a player like Jones who's dynamic but can hold the ball very, very well. So you need that type of players or that type of profile players in your squad, and especially in the lineup. But I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Um, Robert centre back. It's. I think we've done that a couple of times, but I don't know if that's going to be sort of a viable option for this game. But in the future, you never know. But we're slim right now when it comes to centre back options. To be fair, Aussie Gunner, Lee Gunner said, yeah, not sure about them 5 hour shows. To be fair, Steve, at least tell me what you think of these signs. We need Oz. Liverpool need to sign Javier Zanetti, Militao, Eto, Stankovic, Schneider, and Milan Jovanovic. My gosh, you had to ruin it with the last name, didn't you? You thought I wasn't gonna notice as well. You put a stinker there, innit?
Oh,
That player was
oh man.
absolutely shocking. And obviously nowadays, in terms of players getting paid, like you know, players are getting a lot more than they did in those days. But he was getting 100K a week. I'm like, why did this clown get 100K a week? Like he was absolutely shocking. He really was. And I feel like there was a few Liverpool fans that were a little bit excited. Correct me if I'm wrong, Double D. When we signed him, he
Some people
played
are
in the
excited.
World Cup against Ghana, right?
Some people were
And he had a
excited
decent
about
game because I
signing,
watched that game as well.
including myself. But yeah, we'll leave that there.
Listen, we were all thinking, oh, you know what, he might be right, free transfer. But yeah, he was
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah. Got roped
piss
in. It's
poor.
the same when we got Markovic, for instance. Yeah, I'd seen him doing bits for Benfica in Europa, so I was
Yeah.
thinking, yeah, Markovic didn't work with him either. Yeah.
How much
I
did we spend on him again? Was it
Sorry, I think
25
Markovic
mil?
when you are at 20 between 20 to 25 million.
Yeah, that was a lot for that time as well, though. He
Uh,
was 18, 19 at the time as well.
Unlike
Yeah.
Lazari, but we know about wing back settings, bro.
Remember that shot against Sunderland?
Sunderland,
They did
yeah.
like some sort of scissor kick.
Yeah.
That's the only best thing he did, honestly, man. That
Markovic,
signing that was shocking. And Steve just mentioned Veronin. You know what, Veronin, yeah,
I
before
was
he came to
excited about
Liverpool, he
that
was a
signing as
baller,
well.
you know.
Tech, yeah, Tech.
Yeah, him,
Veronin
him
Tech.
and him and Berbatov were the two strikers at Leverkusen,
Yeah.
and they were playing all right. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh
Like
man.
that's when he had short hair, but he
And
came to Liverpool,
yeah,
long hair,
through
ponytail,
the hair up.
just wrecked it
Yeah,
up, man.
looking like Triple H in the dance, bro.
Yeah,
You get me? Man, like Andre Veronin,
yeah,
Jesus is Lord.
spitting water all over the place, man. Like he was terrible, bro. Honestly, he was absolutely terrible. So Daz, his score prediction is a 3-1 for the Reds. He's expecting a brace from Mo. Hugo to get a goal and Gordon for them. Then
See
Gordon to
what
see
again. Imagine,
Gordon to get a red card like he did last season as well.
imagine,
So what's
for
your score prediction for the game, Double D?
the adverts. Uh, Liverpool 6, Newcastle nil. No, I'm playing. What was the score?
It's not Karabakh
Do you know
settings.
what because of just the way things have gone for us at the moment, I think we're either going to be a score draw or lose. But I'm
Mm.
going to keep it positive, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. It could, for clinical, could even be more emphatic than that. I'll keep it
Okay.
positive for the pod, but I'm worried about our next two fixtures. I'm worried, and
Mm.
Brighton in the cup as well. I'm worried, and the fact two of those games are at home. No, sorry, all three of them are at home, and I'm not
Yeah,
sure
they are.
about them. It's crazy,
Yeah,
crazy.
2-1.
But yeah,
Okay.
we keep positive for the pod 2-1.
I love the positivity because I'm gonna probably put the mood down a little bit. I'm going for a draw. I'm just not confident in this team. Um, especially and to be fair, Slot made a comment about this the other day. Whenever we play Champions League football, the next game we tend to lose. He literally said that this season. That's been our record. Um, and he's made excuses, but he's also said that those games were like away fixtures, so at home. So that should be a positive to take, I guess, into this game.
But this is
But
a joke, though.
New,
It's the home fans. It sounded like a library right about now, bro.
uh, I know, I know.
The cold weather and the fact they're not like the football's not going to really
No,
show any sign of motivation. Bare
yeah,
sideways passing.
yeah, it's true. The thing is, it's a weird one because as a fan base, especially in Anfield, we're vocal regardless of, in general terms, how the team is playing. We've always created a great atmosphere, but it's been flat a lot this season. Obviously we're not. I'm not physically in Anfield in these games, but from just hearing it from the TV, like it's just like the atmosphere has just gone a bit quiet. I've been against Carabao. That's probably the only time we were vocal, but it wasn't as vocal as as prior years as well. So
Look,
it's a weird atmosphere within the club, and I don't know. I don't have a strong feeling about this game. I don't feel like we're gonna nick a win. We need to win, of course. You want to win every game, but we really need to win this game because then we can just climb up that table and then add that gap between the teams behind us as well.
yep.
But I don't know. So I'm going for a 1-1 draw. In terms of the goal scorers, I'm going for an TK finish, and I'm going for a Gordon consolation or equalizer, I should say as well.
You.
So
I would have preferred you to have gone for the Gordon red card, like thing, but it seems the way wants to wear red so bad. But yeah,
uh,
yeah. Hopefully
you
we
never know.
beat
He
them.
might be a future target for all we know. So yeah, we'll
But
see. We'll see. But
we're twerking for him, bro.
yeah, let's see. Let's see how it goes. But that's the score prediction, and that's the end of our match preview. But as you guys will know, me and Double D are big wrestling fans.
Come on, come on.
So we've got a slight treat, and we realized this before we started the show. We did this last year, and ironically, we thought we'd do a show to the end. We've come up with
And
the
how's he
schedule
going
where
wrong?
it
How's he going
aligns
wrong?
with the Royal Rumble. So this ain't the Royal Rumble. Let's bring it up properly. Let's bring it
How's
up
he
properly.
going
There
wrong?
we
Because
go.
you said Jey Uso would win last year. Jey Uso won.
Yes, I did.
If you was a betting man, you would have won a lot of money, mate.
I
A
know,
lot of
because
money.
there weren't a lot of people saying that. So I was definitely ahead
People
of the
think
curve,
it's
or had a
people
a mystic goal in front of me or something. But so let's
people
do
think it's
predictions for
people.
this. Let's make it a bit more fun. I know some of you guys might not be wrestling fans, so just 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 hear us out as we do a bit of extra content there. So who are you going for in terms of the winner of the women's Royal Rumble? Who's your pick?
Oh, the women's. If oh, it could be a Bianca thing, but these Saudi Arabian crowd. She never got a
Mm.
great reception last time she was out. They've had none of the black women do, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a shame.
Who would it
Mm.
be? The rumors say Bianca, but I want to go for someone. Oh, it might be Liv Morgan.
Okay.
Maybe Liv. I'm thinking there's Rhea. Rhea's always in the title picture anyway, and now
Yeah,
tag
yeah.
team champion. Or yeah, Liv Morgan, or a bust up, even though they have the belts at the moment with Io and Rhea, and then
Mm.
flipping whoever switches on the other there. Either Rhea switches because of the fact that she's never beaten Io in a singles match, or Io switches and then goes back to Oscar and that.
Mm.
in terms of like the Japanese contingent, one of the two. But yeah, all
I'm
my
just gonna go
kettle.
through some of the comments before I give you my take. So, Steve says, "Hope Oz comes back with a positive match review after we get 3 points." Yeah, yeah.
Come
If
on.
if we get the 3 points, then yeah, rest be sure that I'll be because I'll definitely after the Rumble finishes, I'm gonna try and watch the whole game again. I'm hoping it's not a 0-0 because that's always a difficult watch when you have to do content as well. But definitely gonna watch the game after the Royal Rumble and then I'll give you my take the next day. So that'll be on Sunday evening. So yeah, look out for that. Uh, otherwise, it's going to be a long match reaction stream. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So Daz has gone for Becky Lynch to win the Rumble. Interesting take there.
If she
Uh,
wasn't Intercontinental Champion, I would have gone for that. But no,
yeah.
if Becky wins the Rumble, the Becky Hogan thing is going to start again. Do
True.
you know what? Do you know what, Steve? Seth is meant to be it. You know, ESPN did a
Yeah.
complete mess up the other day and baited up that Seth's coming back
Yeah.
at the Rumble. So
But then
if that is
I
the
saw
case,
reports today suggesting that he's still in the States, that he hasn't traveled. So
oh, okay.
I don't know, no, but that's not concrete. That's just something I saw today. So
Oh, okay.
we'll have to wait and see. Steve is not a big wrestling fan. I feel like with me, I've been a wrestling fan since I was a kid. But then I was speaking to Double D about this a few months ago. I had a bit of a gap where I hadn't watched wrestling for like 10 to like 15 years, but I would still catch up in terms of like the WrestleManias and the Royal Rumbles, but I wouldn't
Yeah,
follow like from the yearly. So I've got kids now that are into it. So I feel like my son's like, oh, because in school they'll be like kids would be like, oh, wrestling's on. So my son's like, oh, what's all this stuff? So I thought, let him show and let me watch it as well because me and Double D are from the Attitude Era. So there was a lot of madness happening in those days. So I need to see, like, if I want my son wants to watch it, I need to see if it's PG or if it ain't, he ain't watching it. But then I'm seeing, like, do you know what? It's cool. It's not too bad. So yeah, my kids watch it. I've got cousins that are into it, so yeah, it's just like a family thing. So it's quite a nice thing to have when you've got a lot of family members into it. We watch it together and stuff. So yeah, it's all
yeah.
good. Compare Seth Rollins in football terms. Ooh, okay.
Um, ooh, who is a great player that keeps on getting injured? Alexander Isak. But I'm trying to
I
think
was gonna
because
take it back. I was gonna say Sturridge.
yeah, that's a good one still. That's a good one still because
Because
Sturridge is one
Sturridge
of
was always balling, but like he just
yeah,
kept on getting injured, right?
Sturridge is one of the best finishers
Yeah.
strikers, one of the best finishers to play in the Premier League gets getting injured because Seth Rollins is amazing in the ring, but
Mm,
anytime they try to give him the rocket, he gets injured. Even recently, the reason he's out now is because he tried a stupid move off the ropes and did his
yeah,
shouldering. Like there was no need for it. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying? But yeah, but
yeah,
now Seth's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. But the injuries have stopped him from being the best. You get me? But yeah, he's sick in the ring, man.
yeah. So I'd go with Sturridge because
Yeah, Sturridge is
that's
a good
how
one.
I think about Sturridge in football terms. I literally think like that as well.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Sturridge is a good one. Still injuries, but any like top player you like, Steve, that frequently gets injured, that is Seth
yeah,
Rollins, bro.
yeah. That is that's it. There are 5 returns, Aussie. Okay, 5 returns coming up. Well, there's been a lot of rumors about returns, so we'll see. What pans
uh,
out in terms of
Jericho.
tomorrow's event.
Yeah.
Triple H might come in wearing a traditional Arabic, attire. Might enter himself. You never know, innit? Do you know what I
Oh
mean? So
no, Triple H can't wrestle again, bro, but he's got
I
the
know, no, I'm just kidding.
yeah, the
But
life.
can you imagine though? If there's some kind of madness like that. He did say there
Imagine
will be surprises.
that.
That'll be one hell of a surprise.
To be honest, and someone else said it. I can't remember what it was on.
Yeah.
I think it was Wrestle Days because I'm
Okay.
always listening to his stuff. Like, he's sick. That the Rumble and women's and the thing it should be 40. They
Okay.
should both be 40 each. Then you could have your surprises. Other people, because there's people on the roster that won't even get used for this, and they'll have them in some stupid
Yeah.
segment in the back eating pizza or doing a commercial or something like that. You get me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Men's. Who's gonna win the men's? I don't think Roman
Yeah.
needs
Who
to
was the
win the
men's?
men's.
Oh
I
wait, wait.
don't
I
think
didn't give you
he.
my take. I didn't give you my take for the women's one. So I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know if I
you
told you.
did. You just
Yeah.
answered that. Sorry, yeah.
So no, it's all good. So you know me. I went Jay Uso last year, so I like to think outside the box. I'm gonna pick someone that I feel like is doing really well, and I feel like if they were to win the Rumble, it just pushes them to that next level. So I'm going for Roxanne Perez.
Ooh, she had that long run last year, staying there for time. And,
Yeah. And I
yeah.
feel like she deserves it as well. I feel like it will add like a bit more of a rivalry within her own camp in terms of
I'll tell you,
Raquel and
I'll
Liv
tell you,
Morgan.
I'll tell you what she deserves, bro. Off air.
Yeah, that's the late night segment right there. Do you know what I mean, bro? Yeah. But in terms of the
Woo!
men's, who you going for? That's gonna be harder to pick, I think.
I don't know. Are they gonna make Gunter? No, no, Gunter's facing AJ, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
But I think he's still in the rumble though.
I probably saw in the Rumble because
Mm,
the way that they put Gunter, will bloody with everything.
yeah.
There's been rumors of Cody again. I would hate that. I wouldn't mind
Yeah.
Brock Breaker. I would do Brock Breaker, because I'm looking at Brock Lesnar's picture, Braun Breaker.
Can
Um,
I give you a spoiler?
do you know who I want to win it?
Go on.
Jacob Fatu.
Oh, great shout.
Scenes. If that happens, scenes, bro, scenes.
Great shout. Can I give you a spoiler? You're gonna see on SmackDown, so it's not like a mad spoiler.
Yeah, yeah.
So on SmackDown tonight, they accidentally revealed who was gonna be the first entrant of the
It's
Royal
Braun
Rumble.
Breaker. It's Braun Breaker, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Braun
I
Breaker.
see. I can't remember. I read something because I got a notification. I didn't open it, but I got a notification around the same time I saw the Curtis Jones
So that was
news.
like a graphical error on their
Yeah,
part when they were doing
and
SmackDown today.
yeah, and they were saying, yeah, someone's going to get sacked. And when they leaded us on the merry, you get me, a merry thing, and
Yeah,
then someone else is first. They're going to call audible now, and someone else is going to
yeah.
come to throw us off the scent. You get me?
Fatu. So that's who you're going with.
I'm going to go. I'm actually thinking I'm going to go Jacob Fatu. I'm going Fatu or Bond Breaker. Um,
Okay.
it would probably more likely would be Bond Breaker. So I'll say Bond Breaker. I'd love for Jacob Fatu to win it, but for the prediction, I'll say Bond Breaker.
Okay. I'm gonna go with two answers, but that's not me trying to cheat here, and I'll explain why I'm going for two answers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my pick is someone that hasn't been around recently. So he's expected to make a surprise return.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going for his name. So if he doesn't end up turning up, then I have to have a second choice, right?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not trying to be cheeky, but that's just the way I'm looking at it. So my pick was LA Knight because I feel like this
That's
would
what should
be the
happen.
a great time for him to get that push. And I feel like the Royal Rumble would be the great way to do that for him. Because
It
he's
would
always
make,
been close in
yeah.
terms of the title picture, but never quite there. So I feel like it'll just give him a bit of ammunition for that to happen. So
It would make
that's Elena. But
bro, it would make so much sense because it wouldn't even have to be a long title reign.
yeah, he
He
doesn't. Yeah,
he's been a top three seller in merch for a majority of the last 2.5 years or so. It would
yeah,
make so much sense because the idea, because remember when on Unseen, even after I watched all the episodes, they were discussing it and most of them were saying CM Punk for last year, and then I think was it Bruce Pritchard that said
yeah,
um, Jay, and then they ran with that. LA Knight wins it. Be crazy. He put himself over. No bloodline or whatever. That
yeah,
rest in peace Bray Wyatt, but that beef he had with Bray Wyatt didn't finish the way they wanted it to. But he got himself up organically, exactly
yeah,
how Trick Williams is being going over organically at the moment, right?
yeah,
No savage push like what Vince shoved Roman down everyone's throat back over 10 years ago and them thing there. I just
mm,
feel that yeah, LA Knight would make so much sense as long as he's in it because as you said, he's been away for a bit, so he's gonna get a large pop as it is. And
yeah.
and yeah, and it would be brilliant. But yeah, the Roman there's rumors on Roman doing it. Good,
Okay.
it's been booked brilliantly. So yeah, I think we're going to be surprised either way. Even if it's someone that we both think could win it, I think that we'd be even surprised because um,
Yeah,
WWE recently should be hiring us to be in their
I
creative
know.
team. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Trust me.
we're here, man.
Trust.
The things are ready. You get me?
Yeah, we're ready, man. But if LA Knight doesn't make an appearance, because I'm not sure what the situation, because I know he picked up an injury, so I'm not sure if he's not fit. Let's just say he doesn't even participate. If he's there, he's still my shout. But
Yeah,
if he's not there, I'm going for Bron Breakker. I think Bron Breakker will win the
yeah,
Rumble. If LA Knight is not there, I think that would be the perfect way to guarantee that he's a main eventer in WrestleMania, and I think he
yeah,
deserves it as well. I think his rise has been phenomenal in the last 12 months. So
yeah.
that's who I would go with for the Rumble. So if LA Knight is there, that's my pick. But if he's not participating, then my shout will be Bron Breakker. Now, big up to Daz. He's just sent me something on Twitter where he said it's confirmed Royal Rumble surprise returns. So would you like me to share it on the screen, Double D?
Um, I think you should be asking the viewers, not me.
I don't think it will be a spoiler because it's still speculation. So
Yeah,
um,
true.
so let me present it. So uh, where are we? Where are we? Where are we? If I can find the right tab. So apparently this is
Page.
confirmed,
Oh, interesting.
but
What are you planning?
I don't see Maven. That is not gonna happen. Maven
Yeah,
is not going to be there.
Powerhouse Hobbs. Yeah, because he's just signed
He's signed. Yeah, he's got I think they've
from
named
AEW.
him Royce Keys. He's got a different name as well. Royce Keys his name. I've heard about Paige. I've heard about that. Brie Bella I've heard as well. And
Yeah,
Chris Jericho is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
all
So I
time.
would
Yeah,
be
he's one of the
super
goats.
gassed if he's
He
there. I would be
he has
super gassed.
changed. He's changed his character so many times, and it never misses.
Yeah,
Well, I'm talking WWE. I don't because
yeah,
AEW the whole learning tree thing. I didn't really follow it, but
yeah.
the joke is that my favorite gimmick from him was actually uh the list, and he's gone on record
Yeah.
in numerous interviews said he didn't even like the list. I thought it was one of the greatest things ever. You
It
get
was
me?
quite funny. Yeah, I didn't follow wrestling too tough at that time, but I have seen segments of it. It does seem quite funny. But I liked it when I think his debut was one of the best debuts ever when he came.
Yeah, he used to be
And
mute
then
Y2J and that. He used to be mute back then
Y2J,
at the start as well, wasn't it? He like
yeah. Because
wasn't
I used to
talking.
watch WCW heavy in those
Yeah,
days.
yeah,
So he wasn't even the main guy there, but everyone knew he had something. Like he was like unique in that way. Like
yeah,
he was a character. So when he came to WWE, I thought, oh, this is a big jump.
yeah,
But then when he debuted, I was like, yeah, he fits in right well for me. So apparently this is the surprise element. So we'll see if that is true. Uh so Daz, his pick is Cody or Jericho. So if Jericho was to make that surprise appearance,
that would get an if Jericho won it, that would be an outrageous pop. But
that would be
come on,
sick.
I do feel they would do Cody again, but flipping 3 times, three
Yeah, I would have.
times.
I think you got to change the script a little bit and not make it too predictable. In my
Three,
opinion. Also,
three times
um,
in 4 years is crazy.
yeah, it is. I tell you what though, because there's been rumors about Jericho for about a couple of months now.
Yeah,
I would love for this to happen, but looking at things from the outside of wrestling, I don't think he returns in the Rumble. I think he makes a return next month in Elimination Chamber.
what elimination chamber?
So the
Okay,
so the reason why I say that is because I'm sure everyone will be aware, or if you're a wrestling fan anyway, he's also a musician. So his rock band,
yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah,
they're actually touring the UK this month and February. So he's gonna be in the UK for the next few weeks. So I feel like because of the tour, I don't think
Fuzzy.
he'll make a Rumble appearance. He might make a surprise appearance, but then there's no like continuation into like Raw
Yeah,
and SmackDown to build up something for WrestleMania, if that makes sense.
yeah,
So maybe if he like makes a surprise appearance in the Elimination Chamber, for example, then that might be a great way to create a rivalry with another wrestler, and then he gets his WrestleMania match. So that's just the way
yeah.
I'm thinking. So I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's just the way I'm seeing. Because I saw something pop up a few weeks ago. And I'm thinking, hang on, these dates are literally the dates around the Rumble. So I thought, I don't know if that's gonna work, but let's see. Let's see what happens. I would love to see Jericho return at the Rumble. I think that pop will be like something else, to be fair. So let's see what happens. But moving on, this, of course, women's Rumble, and you've got the men, so they're gonna be at least an hour each. So they'll take
Yeah,
large parts of the show. But there's
yeah.
two other matches that are also scheduled. So the first one is this AJ Styles versus Gunfight, and it's a
This is
match
gonna
where
make
if
me
AJ
sad.
Styles loses, he has to retire. So,
Yeah.
what is your prediction? What is your take on this match?
I've got two viewpoints on this. Um,
Okay.
and apparently, but again, this is the problem with social media with wrestling because it takes a lot of the fun out of it sometimes. You're best off staying off there, but because, especially if you're a football fan, you're always going to be hitting up Twitter and that anyway, and you might see a lot of
Yeah,
things accidentally, right?
yeah.
Apparently, AJ Styles' contract's up in February,
In February it
so
is.
this would
That's correct.
make sense. So this would be good to continuing on this like Randy
Career
Orton,
killer.
legend killer type thing. As you said, yeah, they're
Yeah,
calling his one career killer, yeah, which will
yeah,
anger me because he's beaten AJ already.
yeah,
Um, so yes, from that aspect, but also as well, I'm thinking that hopefully those have just got out there and AJ's been able to sort out a rolling contract or something for it to go
yeah,
on, and it's not true that it's done in February. And AJ beats Gunter, even if it's by disqualification count or whatever, and they face again at WrestleMania. You spoke earlier in terms of Liverpool that Robbo, because he's a Liverpool legend,
mm,
deserves to get his flowers and deserves a proper send
yeah,
off. For me, Mania would be a better one than Royal Rumble for me with AJ.
yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
So that would be sick, you get me? And I don't think that that would harm Gunter in any way, shape, or form because he barely loses anyway. You get me? It's just
Yeah,
that they dropped the ball last season, you know, last year with having
yeah,
him tap out to Jay. That was stupid. And it wasn't even like he tried to, it was a struggle and then he tapped out. He just tapped out straight away. That
yeah,
was stupid because you built
yeah,
up this guy who, if you go back to NXT UK, has been a champion for what? Almost 80% of the time he's been in flipping WWE. So
yeah,
why are you having him tap out? You could have just had Jay do a continuous amount of flipping big splashes and them thing
yeah.
there, and
Super
then
kicks
beat
and all that.
yeah, so
Yeah,
bare super kicks and figured that, and then beat him, or you get me, or something. He could have even hit him when the ref weren't looking or whatever, because he was so over it. So that could would mess up his thing or whatever. Because to me,
mm,
even though obviously Gunter's the heel, that would have
yeah,
shown that would have protected him because it's like someone had to use an illegal maneuver to be able to beat you. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
So so yeah, one of them was there. So yeah, I want obviously AJ to win it because he's one of my favorite wrestlers ever. I can remember almost 25 years. It was no, I think it was
mm,
2003 or 2004. I can remember
yeah,
seeing him at a mad friend I had from secondary school, Ainsley, at his house because he used to watch TNA and that. And I saw
yeah.
AJ stuff.
Same.
I said, this guy used to be in WWE. That's when they had the hexagon ring. He was doing
Yeah, I
some
remember. Yeah,
crazy moves. I thought
yeah,
WWE need this guy from back then. So he's one of my favorite wrestlers ever. Um,
yeah,
and so I'm hoping that's not the case. That he's finishing this year anyway. I'm just hoping it's not February because I'm not ready for it yet. Yeah,
yeah,
especially with what Liverpool have been doing to me this season. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for the last that age. Cena's not even 2 months gone yet. You see it. So
yeah,
so yeah, but yeah. So hopefully, yeah, beats him. And then they have a part three for me that'll make sense. And then Gunter retires in anyway. You get me? That would make sense. Would have been nice for him to have one more title run, but
yeah,
outside of the tag team belts, I mean, a solo one, but yeah,
yeah. I
yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I'm going for an AJ win as well. I think it's come across as too predictable that he's going to lose.
yeah,
Even with I think Shinsuke Nakamura tweeted accidentally that that he confirmed that he's retiring. I feel like it's
yeah.
just their plot to make it obvious that
You,
he's going to lose.
yeah,
So I feel like he's going to win, but it might be where it might not be like a full retirement tour like Cena where it
yeah.
went through the rest of the year. It might be where it's up to WrestleMania or up to or SummerSlam. That's the way
Do
I'm
you know,
looking at it.
do
So
you know what would really shock the people?
Mm,
if it was a squash match. So say
mm,
Gunter comes in, does some moves, some chops and whatnot, and has up AJ. AJ gets a second wind because he realizes, obviously, it's like an epiphany that could be his last match, and then
yeah,
flipping does all these move sets. Gunter kicks out of a Styles clash or something like that. Gunter won't tap out to the calf crusher, and then flipping AJ hits him with a phenomenal forearm and wins. Match doesn't even so what I say flipping squash, but for that to happen, it would need more time than the squash. But for the match to not even last 10 minutes, that will completely shock the people, but you get me? Shock
yeah.
them.
I agree. I think that'd be cool. So we were both going for AJ, which I think might surprise a few because the way they've made it seem like it's predictable, but
Yeah,
I'm going for the unexpected. I think he's going to secure the win.
yeah,
Daz asks, where's Sheamus not been since seen since last year? He may be
yeah.
injured.
He's been
I'm
away for
not
a couple of
entirely
months.
sure to be honest. He may be injured to be fair. So,
Yeah.
he might make a surprise return tomorrow. Who knows? And Daz has also gone for an AJ win. So yeah, let's see what happens. And the final match is Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn.
Bro, I don't want it to be the case. Because again, Drew, I'm a big Drew fan as well, and this
Yeah,
title reign has been overdue in front of fans. A proper one, not like WrestleMania and then lose it because
yeah,
Priest is constantly money in the bank. But
yeah,
unfortunately, it looks like he's just been a placeholder. It's going to be him being a placeholder, traditional champion, because with how huge Sammy is,
yeah.
with the Arab community, I
Mm,
sadly can't see nothing else than Sami Zayn win, and that is going to annoy me because Drew
yeah,
deserves at least at the sheer minimum a few months with that belt. I think he's a brilliant heel. I think he's an outstanding heel, and
yeah,
the only good thing about it is that he's been able, because they went to the UK, to go to Scotland and actually parade the title and do
yeah,
promos with the title and that. But it's going to sicken me. But I don't see how in Saudi Sammy
mm,
loses.
yeah.
And that's gonna piss me off. And it's
Mm,
not even like I don't dislike Sami Zayn like other people do, but they always talk about
yeah,
underdog story. But he always
yeah,
seems to overcome. Apart from getting the world title, he always seems to overcome people. Remember, he took the Intercontinental title from Gunter. You get me? He's
yeah, yeah,
won US title recently, so I think now in Saudi they pulled the trigger, and the
yeah.
pop is going to be generational.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's a fair point.
Unless he loses and then goes and wins the Rumble.
Yeah, that could be something as
That
well.
would be crazy. I prefer that. So that was to give Drew more time with the title, but because Drew cooks and Drew's
Yeah,
social media work as well, with him as champion, is going to be next level, whether it be TikTok, Twitter, whatever, next level. So I need Drew to win this, but I think Sammy's going to do it.
you might be onto something there. I think that will work. I think if that was the case where he loses this match but wins the Rumble,
Yeah,
because that's slightly less unpredictable as well, I think that would be
yeah.
sick. But in terms of this match, so I don't know if I told you, I went to the SmackDown show a few weeks ago in London.
Oh no, you never told
So
me that. Oh no, actually,
yeah,
I think you did say that you had tickets for it. Actually, yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
think you
yeah.
said
I,
that,
f-
but
I don't think I've spoken to you since then. So yeah, I went there and he got a crazy reception
was
when
it?
he walked in the town. Because obviously he's the first British champion, I guess, isn't it? WWE champion in history. So
Oh yeah, of course,
uh,
yeah,
yeah. So I know British Bulldog had a title, but that was the Intercontinental title.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
um, but yeah, he like. So you could tell like his when he did his segment, it was like the opening few minutes were sincere, but then of course he had to go into heel mode and rattle the crowd a little bit. But he had a proper roar there as well. Um, I think Sami Zayn will get the win in this one. But
Boo.
having said that, the way I'm looking at it, it's not going to be a long reign. I think it could be where they face each other again in Elimination Chamber, and he might lose the title then. And then you've got Drew McIntyre with the title again, and then maybe he's involved in a. I really want to see Jacob Fatu in the mix,
Yeah,
especially in
yeah, yeah.
WrestleMania.
If they're
So
smart, they could. they pull the
It
trigger
could be
on
like
that.
a four-way
It's
with Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, Fatu, and Cody, or something like that. I don't know, something along those lines. I think would work.
yeah,
And then you've got, I think for the other title, Braun Breaker going up against CM Punk. Then where does that put Roman Reigns in the mix? So maybe that's a triple threat where Roman Reigns comes involved. I don't know. Or Seth Rollins makes a return. So there's a lot of scenarios that can, definitely work. So if they do it right, I think it could be an interesting few months uh in towards the storylines of these fighters or these wrestlers, I should say. So I'm going for a Sami Zayn victory. But I do like your idea though. I feel like him losing, but then winning
yeah,
the Rumble would be sick. I feel like that would be so cool.
yeah,
Because then he's left a winner, right? He's not won the title, but he's getting closer and he gets that WrestleMania moment. That's how I'm looking at it. So,
yeah,
and he wants the WWE title. He doesn't want the other one. He wants this one as well.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so yeah, that's the one I'm going for. Daz has commented to say, Sammy to win interference by Randy Orton.
Good call, good call.
Good call. That could work as well. That could work. Um, so yeah, it'll be very, very interesting to see what happens. Um, but yes, that is the end of the show, guys. We kind of digressed into wrestling, but you know, for why not? We did it last year. Let's do it again. Let's roll it back the way Jay Uso says as well. So we just run it back, and yeah, let's see what happens. I didn't go for Jay Uso this year. I think it will be LA Knight who wins the Royal Rumble. But let's see what happens tomorrow evening. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And lastly, Double D, really, really appreciate you coming on tonight. Please let the people know where to find you on socials and of course, your podcast and yeah,
Yeah,
what you got coming up
yeah,
next in terms
yeah.
of your content.
I write as well. Well, in fact, that's like my main passion actually. But this is the new media doing podcasts and that. So danzigzags.co.uk. I should actually start putting that up on my
Yeah,
subheader. That's my website.
yeah.
The
Send me a
latest
link. I'll add it to the description as well. Send me a link and I'll add it.
safe, yeah, yeah. The
Yeah,
latest thing up on there, obviously, because I write weekly on FPL. Like
yeah.
most of the time, it's funny. Sometimes when I'm not in the mood because I've lost my head to head in FPL. It's not funny. Yeah, but it's called Fantasy Football Files. This latest one's called Black Men United because obviously um, Man United, all their three goal scorers are black, and them all scoring helped me win my head to head because the person I was up against had a double Arsenal defence. But yeah, it's called Black Men United. So yeah, that's danzigzags.co.uk. But I am going to be on your radio airwaves in 8.5 hours. But I need to eat first, so I'm barely going to sleep. I'm cooked. But yeah, every morning on Top FM, that's 95.5 FM in London. But if you haven't, if you're not in London, you can listen on. There's an On Top app actually. There's an On Top FM app, or you can
Nice.
listen on Global Player or
Yeah.
TuneIn Radio is a favorite amongst the people as well. And yeah, just search On Top FM, On Top FM 95.5 FM, and I'm part of the D&D Football Factory, as I've got up on the header, and we go live at 10 a.m. with the Footy on Top show, go through the Premier League games, and then a bag of banter and discuss all other football things within the 2 hours. So yeah, that's 10 a.m. every Saturday morning. So yeah, man,
No, appreciate you taking your time out today for a
numerous
late
ways.
show.
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah, appreciate you doing that. But yeah, please guys, make sure you follow Double D on X and Twitter. You'll get any updates in terms of upcoming content, and make sure you support him with his blogs and his radio shows and stuff. Yeah, he's a friend of mine. He's been whenever I need him to come on the show, he's always here. He's always available. So yeah, please show your
Always,
support
always on.
for Double D. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to speak with you all very, very soon. Goodbye.